still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
Welcome to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston. Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane. Here are Peter and Anthony with Sports 56 Mornings.
Yeah! Jackfruit!
Where's that cruise ship? Where's that cruise ship?
Yeah, up by the cruise ship.
We need that cruise ship.
Not my cruise tripping. Not my cruise tripping.
Bring that cruise ship.
There's definitely a crew that's tripping. For sure.
Today is going to be fun.
Sure.
I thought today was going to be a somber show. I woke up super excited this morning.
Really?
On about 2 or 3 hours sleep, but I'm fine. I got my energy drink in my system.
Yeah.
I tried to get an Impossible croissant at Burger King. It's no longer available, but of course it's still on the menu. We ain't had that in a long time, baby. So, baby, you can get the thing on the menu, the biggest item on the menu, as a matter of fact.
Oh, man.
Yeah, today's going to be fun, man.
Certainly a lot of things that there's only a few people in the world that can get away with just saying, "Yeah, come on, baby, you baby, so we don't have it."
I'm good.
You can't. You and I can't work in there and do that. We can't stand at the counter and do that. That's who you calling baby? All right.
Yeah, sorry,
man. But it just rolls off the tongue sometimes. Welcome in everybody to a post coup edition, I guess, of Sports 56 Mornings.
Not a hot coup, but a post coup.
Yeah, not a good coup, but there you go.
Oh man, mask up, America.
Y'all Qaeda. That was what I heard. That's what my. It's something else. Anyway, welcome in. I am Peter. He is Save Us Wonder Woman. And,
Where is Wonder Woman at a time like this, man?
She's back in '84. She's her and Pedro Pascal. Hanging out. Yeah. He's
Maxwell Lord out here just.
Yeah, that's right.
Before it's too late, everyone renounce your wish. Renounce your wish, America.
I am the wish.
You're looking at it.
You're looking at it. Oh no, that's not good.
Man, help us.
Yes, indeed. We have, of course, Zach Boyd running the show today and every day, and thankfully, it does not appear that he is on fire this morning. So that's good. Whenever he wears the red shirt, I get a little bit nervous about that, but he's going with the gray today.
I felt like the red shirt was a precursor to what happened yesterday.
Yeah,
on fire.
Red
shirt on fire.
Just a full culmination of what happened yesterday. Just on fire. I
came with the all black today. I see Zach has got the black and gray going on. We just keeping it neutral.
Yeah,
nothing.
It's quite
new morning tradition as well. I forgot to mention, Peter.
What's that?
Myself and Superman from down the hall from Hot
Superman.
Yeah,
my man Soup.
We have convos with Zach, motivational conversations with Zach. That's a new tradition. Started today, actually.
That's exciting. I love Superman.
Great guy.
Great guy. Great guy was he DJ'd my wedding.
Really?
Fast fact, a lot of people don't know. Soup. He was the DJ / honored guest because he took a little time away to just kind of hang, and we did a little karaoke setup at my wedding. We did a little we had open mic. People just getting to do their thing on there. It was nice.
How long you been married, bro?
Since 2008. So
really,
this will be 13 years.
Bet that.
What's up? What's up with that?
No, I'm just
Crazy.
wondering, bro.
13
Just asking.
years. No. I'm just saying to myself, like, what, man, that's crazy. Like,
You come off
what's
as
up
a guy
with
who
that?
you come off as a guy who's been married since they were 19 or 20.
I'm not sure what that means, but I'm not. I got married when I was 28, almost 30.
Oh yeah, so you wild out a little bit before you locked it down. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
we did things a little later, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
ain't nothing wrong
That's
with
all
it.
right. So it's going to rain. Rain's coming into the old system. There's a low pressure system. A lot of people, just kind of talking. I like to sometimes get into weather talk today. There's a low pressure system that's right hovering down in the southwest, and as it kind of comes in, it's going to bring in a little lower temperatures. It's also going to bring in some rain. High is going to be in the mid 40s today and wet. So be sure to get the old rain gear out when you're heading into work. Not any other gear.
No,
Don't get any ideas. Saw that yesterday.
yeah,
Just rain gear,
just rain
please, and keep it at that, and then we'll be all right. The family leaves.
just get through the next couple of weeks, man.
Oh man, what a day!
But y'all told me that 2021 was a new year and things are gonna be better and different. And
This is just the residue. This is the residue from
I was
2020.
vilified, man. I was vilified.
Look,
for
you know how it
suggesting
is.
otherwise,
No. This is the residue. When you make a particularly nasty drink and you pour it out, and there's still a little bit left. Just that's what this is. This is just the
Right.
remainder. You poured it out. We've poured it out. We started fresh, but there's still a little just kind of left over. We got to just wash it out, and so that's what's happening now. And then we're good.
And make a mental note.
We're
Zach.
good.
There's
We're
something we'll
good.
talk about tomorrow in our devotions, Zach, when we have our talks with Superman. Sane and Superman talk. We'll have, rest. We're gonna talk about residue after you're done after you got to take care of those residue situations.
You got to take care of that residue. You got to. There's always a little bit of a residue, and a little leftover, a little to what happened, and that's the way that it is. So, listen, hey, we're out here doing the best we can, and that's all any of us can do. 67129 on the First Bank text line. 67129 on the First Bank text line.
Text lines are open all day long.
Text lines are open all day long.
Speak your mind today.
All night long, quite frankly.
Right.
And some people choose that.
It's been pretty empty so far this morning, man.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen. I'm sure that'll change soon enough.
Yeah. It's got a long night for a lot of old chaps.
A long night absolutely. It was a long, historic, crazy night.
Yeah, it was.
And crazy day yesterday. So, I think we're hopefully maybe just maybe not as eventful a day would be great.
Right.
Just maybe take a little time off.
Yeah. That night
show
shift kicked in
was,
last night, though. That night shift.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw night shift was handled a little
Yeah,
differently.
night shift was like, nah, I got kids.
Night shift
I got
was, yeah.
I got another job to go to in the morning. You know what I mean?
I think that's.
like, nah, we
I
ain't
think
doing
they took the feedback from. It was halftime, and they went and had a little halftime speech and looked at some of the feedback they were getting about a really lackluster first half performance by the security crew.
Yeah,
and they said, you know what, we gotta bump that up a little bit
because a lot of times
really came out in the third quarter.
That night shift don't get the memo all the time. That the morning shift.
No,
that's kind of your pet crew, your morning crew. That's everybody. That's when the corporate people are there. When the corporate people go home, night shift like I ain't hear nothing about that. We ain't playing around with y'all out here. We ain't playing with y'all at all.
It was something very.
Hey, check out this.
Oh yeah. The text box is open. And folks are availing themselves. Of that.
Hey man, I'm here for it today.
Oh yeah. Oh, you saw. I mean, again, it was. We'll talk about. We're going to talk about some sports, but obviously we have to address what was a sad day,
an
historic day, an infuriating day in our country's history. You saw the Capitol building breached for the first time.
It's like you watching a movie, man. It
was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
It's like, bro, what am I watching, bro?
It's like-
It really was. It was
like
watching a very bad, low budget action movie
mixed with Fortnite.
Mixed with people like
Like what am I
cosplay,
watching?
like cosplay as like military cosplay, like check me out and all this. That was one area where the night shift definitely showed some people that
Oh man.
there's a difference between wearing the costume and actually being the person for sure.
Good God.
There's people. Yeah, it was like I said. It's also sad, man. And it would be. Some of it would be funny if it weren't so sad. Because it's just so silly and
Well, Peter,
stupid.
are you a member of Black Twitter?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not a member because
Yeah, you're
obviously,
not Black Twitter.
Yeah, I have certain qualifications I don't meet.
Do you
but,
dive into
I'm certainly a visitor to Black Twitter.
Okay.
I'm certainly adjacent. I'm Black Twitter adjacent. Let's just say.
Yeah. You're a familiar.
I'm familiar. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was some pretty different views of the world were going on.
Certainly was. I saw and I got a kick out of a lot of those views. But I mean, like, it's just when you see what happened, and the thing that's I don't know. It just it's hard to put into words the fury and disrespect, anger that you see. That when you see folks. A so-called Capitol, security staff, police, etc., letting these folks in, and they're 3,000 strong, and yet they somehow managed to allow all of this to take place. It's quite. I think it's pretty clear based on previous examples. They're not incompetent. They certainly can do their job very aggressively when they are so motivated, and it's just interesting they weren't very motivated.
Yeah.
Yesterday to actually do it.
Odd.
Yeah, I think we all know what's going on there. So to see that is disheartening. To see somebody walking around with the Confederate battle flag in the middle of that's the one that just like I had to go and.
But the flag is just a symbol of the South, man. It's just pride for the South.
Yeah,
It doesn't have anything to
right.
do with
anything. Absolutely.
It's just,
yeah.
That was the
absolutely.
argument we heard. It's just
right. Oh yeah,
it's history,
it's just
man.
about the pride. It's history. It's just history. Yeah. Well, how about this for history? That flag never flew in the Capitol during the Civil War. That's that flag never breached those and would never have been allowed to because it would have been an act of war. It would have been, and it was an act of war yesterday, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And that I had to do some laps. I had to go and that infuriating. Is not even
the range of emotion I had yesterday was. Confusion at first, anger. Because when I went on my Twitter thread yesterday, all I saw was the initial thing that something happened, like there was a breach.
Right.
And I didn't actually look into details of it until after that was done, because I knew why they were doing it. So I looked into the details after. It was confusion, fear. But yeah, it started getting kind of, in most things, you kind of have to cry now and laugh later. So that was the range of
you certainly have to process. You got to process it. That's the whole thing. You got to.
But I just have one question though, Peter. As we segue into whatever the rest of the show looks like, didn't see many masks out there at all during this. Demonstration.
No.
So I just have the question. I don't know if you guys have seen.
Demonstration is an interesting phrase.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Django Unchained. I've just got one question. Are we going mask on or mask off? Which one is it? I don't have time for this. Are we going mask on or mask off? Man, I love your wife. It's not nothing personal about your wife, but I can't see nothing through this mask, man.
And you can't. And you would think in that situation that you would want to, you want to obscure your face.
Yeah.
And yet they don't.
Who
even
organized this crap, man? Like who? Hey, man, I'm just gonna dress up like a character from Fortnite.
It was.
If you see a podium, just grab a podium.
Pretty much the president. I mean, and now they've got to go out there. That's who organized it. If you ask who organized it, it's pretty much that's who organized it.
How do you do that and not just be you?
and he got himself banned from Twitter for 12 hours.
What is the wildest thing I've ever seen in my life, bro? The president of the United States was banned.
The president of the United
Twitter.
States said, yeah, he said, we love you to these people. We love you, and you're very special. But you have to. What do you like? It's
Who's
beyond
we?
shameful.
Who's we when he says it?
Yeah, I think you can probably guess.
Oh man.
It was. I mean, it was an insurrection. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So, never seen anything like it. One person had the flag of Georgia, the country, not Georgia, the state flag. I think they went to Flag Mart and so, so that was yeah. I don't know. They went to Flag Mart and asked for a Georgia flag, and they got it, but they didn't really check in to see. I also like people that have the flag of Liberia, thinking that it is like an old colonial flag from the United States back in the 13 colony, because the Liberian flag is red, white, and blue. It looks like it's got the American the 13 colony, like Betsy Ross style,
Right.
in the upper
13
left
stars
corner,
circle, yeah.
right? But it's not the United States version. Some people think that's the old like an old flag from the United States, and they're actually carrying a flag of a proud African nation. they're walking there. I'm pretty sure that's not.
Got this Wakandan flag here, man. It's so stupid.
So it's
bro,
just,
who organized this, man? Like who organized it on the ground? Like I know who ignited it, who kicked it off, who set the spark on it. But who said, okay, man, this is the plan. This is what we're gonna do. If you see a podium, take it.
I have to. Also, somebody and they just let him walk right out.
In the park.
They open the door for him.
Yeah,
It's
come
amazing.
on,
I've never seen the police
that in
open
my
the door
life.
for him. It's
Taking pictures, selfies with the police officer. What are we doing?
yeah.
And the poor black dude, man. I think he was just trying to get his stimulus check, man. I don't. Did you see the black dude that was there?
Yeah. I don't.
I think that brother was just trying to get his check, man. It's just like Ray Lewis that time when he came out there at the parade and turned it into a whole protest, man. You know, sometimes you show up for something you don't know what you're walking into, man.
He's like, oh man,
this getting real.
this is not what I thought at all.
I was coming to check on my check. I was just checking on my stimulus check, man.
Oh man, all right. Well, I guess I got to go in here now.
Yeah. This the line for the stimulus checks.
I got to correct our good friend. Well, as we set up the show, I do want to say. Normally we would talk to John Gassaway. No John Gassaway today.
Okay.
And John's, John sent me a message last night basically that, he was like, I just don't really think it's appropriate for us to talk college basketball after that. He said, I liked his phrasing. He sent me a text. He goes, do you think it's best that we close the toy department for the day? And I said, yeah, I think that's about right. He said, well, we'll get back to it. I said, he said, hopefully, we'll get back to it next week. And I said, I think it's well said. John always doesn't. He knows exactly how to prioritize his
I like John.
his thoughts. He said he loves doing. He really enjoys doing the segment, and he and I will be in contact a fair bit from time to time. And he just kind of sent a note late last night. He was like, I don't think it's the right thing to do. So I appreciate John understanding.
And I appreciate John.
The situation. So we will talk to our friend Dustin Starr coming up at 9:00 about any number of things. Maybe they're setting up an angle. Maybe these guys are setting up an angle for
I thought about that too.
NWO style.
You remember when DX
the
took
invasion.
over, when DX invaded?
Triple H on a tank and breaking on the door of the WCW. Even they couldn't breach the WCW arena.
Yeah. Man, they needed an inside man. They needed somebody to.
Oh,
Good God, man! This is the United States of America in 2021.
Yep.
And this actually happened. I sat here on my computer screen and watched this whole thing unfold.
I know, and it was called for. Again, it was called for.
Yep.
By the president, who is trying to use force to overturn a
to do what? That was
result.
my thing. What was the proud group of individuals who went out there in honor of the president? What was their goal?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll get in here and tell you, I don't understand. I don't understand politics well at all. I have people that I call upon to break things down to me. And that just happened a few months ago. So I don't get it. Like, what was their goal? Like, what were they trying to ultimately accomplish? Were they expecting people to change their votes, or what was their? I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, other than just pure intimidation and terror, terrorizing, being terrorists.
Terrorists.
That's the word we haven't heard a whole lot of that word. Yeah. That's definitely what's going on, because the whole point was to incite fear and terror. The other goal was to stop and force the count of the votes, which ended up happening early into the morning. The Electoral College, the affirmation of that count. Normally, this process 4 years ago took 35 minutes, and it was presided over by Joe Biden.
Yeah.
So normally the process takes a short period of time. You go through all the electors of the states, and they have a whole spiel. About,
and the previous vice president oversees it, right?
Well, yeah, as in his function as president of the Senate, he that's the vice presidential function. He or she will stand in and do all that. So that's what happened, and they were going through that process. And normally there's no objection to any of it, even if people don't like the result, they don't object. But then you have a few who did. Very interesting that the delegation from the fair state of Tennessee had a whole objection to it, and then after all this stuff happened, changed their mind and decided not to actually object. It's a real courage of their convictions. They really must have really been very convicted about what happened. And
I don't know if you heard.
Must have really held those views very tightly. It's a real honor.
I don't know if you heard my podcast.
To be served by them.
I don't know if you heard my podcast I had with Jamal Simmons, CBS political analyst. It's a good friend.
I did not. I saw it. I did not hear it though.
I asked him because I'll tell anybody. Like, I'm not joking. Like, I don't understand politics at all. Like, I took an 8-year break on voting for the presidential election, and I talked about my adventures of going out early voting and how it was like a whirlwind of information that was coming at me. But I talked to Jamal Simmons on our podcast, and I asked him what was the purpose of the electoral college, and he said, "Well, the main purpose of it was to prevent people who aren't supposed to be president from being president." I was like, "Oh, so it doesn't work." He was like, "Yeah, it's kind of something like that."
I mean, it's
it says to stop like there's some weird like person who like gets in on some.
We're in a whole different world here now. I mean, it's but yeah, the whole situation is there's a whole process to it, and normally it goes off without any major hitch. Obviously, there was a major hitch yesterday, so
yeah, man.
I don't know. Eventually, they got back to it, and they affirmed very late last night. I think like 2 or 3 in the morning when they ultimately got it done, that Joe Biden would be president, and that would be that on that. There was a lot of hemming and hawing and discussion about what Mike Pence could do or couldn't do, what this guy could or couldn't do. A lot of amateur civics folks out there saying this, that, and the other, and like I said, it was just interesting to see the people that were
Yeah.
So I would almost rather these people just go ahead and stick with all their phony, ridiculous, ginned up excuses and nonsense, rather than change it because they see the logical endpoint of their mischief and lies is what we saw yesterday. That was the logical endpoint. It was always headed towards that.
In other words, just keep the same energy.
And we're not. And again, I mean, like I said, I hope that we're going to see it cool down a little bit, but I don't see why it would. Right. And so the question, is, and I don't normally, I'm not the world's biggest Van Jones fan, but in this case, I saw yesterday he had a comment I thought was interesting. That was, is the question we have to ask ourselves is this the end of something or the beginning of something? And that's that's where we all can still play our part in making that the end of something rather than the beginning of something else. So we will see if that's the case. In the meantime, it hung heavy over sports. There were a lot of folks commenting. There will be more today. I'll certainly ask in the pre-games and all that about reactions to it. I would like to hear what the players and the coaching staff have to say about it, if they choose to.
I'm sure
speak
Ja's
about
going to say something. Jaren's probably going to say something. Where is Ja at a time like this, Peter?
I know.
Yeah, Ja will probably say something.
Where is Anthony Tolliver at a time like this? I would like
man.
to talk to Anthony Tolliver.
Man,
Garrett Temple. I'd like Garrett Temple would be good.
let's get the gang back
speak to
together, man.
at a time like this. Solomon Hill. I'd love to chat with Solomon Hill about this.
Yep.
Deontay Davis. I'd love. How does he feel about this?
Who? Oh.
I just want to throw that in. Maurice Spates. How does he feel about this? Let's. One of my favorite quotes of all time. When I asked Maurice Spates after Game 1 of Grizzlies losing to the Clippers, and he said, "Well, at least we got 7 more."
I need to hear that.
I got bad news for you, Maurice. Yeah.
We you man, we had some. If you think about it, bro, we had some pretty good guys, like wise souls that came through.
Oh yeah, very very interesting guys to talk to. Yeah.
Who can
very,
speak
very,
about
very wise is a good word. Very thoughtful, interesting.
I mean, I clown about Marcus Salt, but yeah, he's one of those guys. I would like to hear if Mark was still here, what he would have to say.
Absolutely,
things like
absolutely.
this.
He would have something to say about it. Mike Conley.
Yep,
would have
Mike
something to say about it for sure.
Anthony Tolliver, like you said.
Zebo. When the cameras were off, he would have something to say.
Yeah, he wouldn't say it on camera, but that's a little known fact about Zebo.
I never saw a guy tank his interviews as much as Zebo did. Mm-hmm. It's so interesting how he's the most beloved Grizzly, and he intentionally just like said the most vanilla stuff in the interview.
And then when they had the policy where you had to be dressed to be interviewed. Okay. Yeah. Zebo, I gotta have clothes on. Oh, bet. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Hey, Zach. Hey, brother. Yeah.
All right, so here we go. We will continue. We will continue with the program. 67129 on the First Bank text line, 360-8255 on the First Bank phone lines. Peter and Anthony with you on a Thursday. Real Sports Talk Sports 56 98.5 96.1.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
When you think about Memphis-style hot wings, you better be thinking about Crumpy's Hot Wings, because they're made from the freshest ingredients and always deliver that mouth-watering taste that you expect from your hot wings. Now you can visit their new location at 420 South Germantown Parkway. You can also call them at 901-207-1273 and see for yourself why Crumpy's is simply the best. Ask for the Sports 56 Special, which is 20 pieces of whole wings, large fries, and 4 drinks at just $38 for your family or group gatherings. Crumpy's Hot Wings, simply the best.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Can anyone explain to me why anyone would care how I measure your roof? We have all heard about measuring your roof from outer space. Well, to be honest, there are aerial pictures that are taken every 4 years that can be used to measure a building, but it's not from outer space. Besides, no one, and I mean no one, can tell you what's wrong with your roof or even if you need one by using pictures that might be 4 years old. If you would rather do business with a family-owned and operated business with a lifelong tie to Memphis that refuses to mislead or use gimmicks, please give me a call. Best products, best warranties, and the best customer service we know how to provide. 5 Ash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. 5 Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Sports 56 traffic.
We got a crash on Airways Boulevard at Shelby Drive. That's Airways at Shelby Drive. And also we have a tree on the road at Chulahoma at Rains. That's Chulahoma at Rains. A tree is on the road. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Yeah, I hear the battle cry under the devil's sky. The one-winged angel screams. It fuels my hopes and dreams. The best of my shine.
Yeah. Hour number 1 here. Can't really play what Draymond Green said, but I think
no.
he put
Man, I gotta peep that out.
Yeah, you should. Although it's heartbreaking and extremely angering, it's also sadly true. So you got to work hard. Got to work hard to try to find some optimism and I don't know. It's we'll see what happens. We'll see if anything actually comes of this. Will there be any repercussions for this? That's the next thing, or will this just have happened and everyone will say, "Oh, it's time to just move on." And if nothing happens as a result, then it'll be worse the next time. It's just saying. I mean, it's like a bunch of, it's like kids, man. This was a childish act of a very immature group of very dangerous people, and if nothing is done as a result of it, and no consequences happen, just like children, it will get worse. And if no one is asked to actually think about the consequences that of what they've done that got us to this point, then starting with a lot of the leadership in our state, Tennessee, and the surrounding states as well, a lot of those people have a lot to answer for and a lot to think about.
Yeah,
that led to this point, and it didn't just happen out of nowhere. And we can't just say, "Oh, there's these people were mad," and you have to do no.
What were you mad about?
So much more to it than that.
The protests about civil injustice that happened during the pandemic had a clear reason. Like there was something they were trying to get out of this. There was a reason for them to be angry, for us to be angry. Just trying to figure out what was the end goal of yesterday's events. Like, what were you trying to accomplish? Like, what was your reasoning for doing all this? One was birthed from a desire to feel protected, a desire to feel equal, a desire to have a voice, a desire for change, and the other one is birthed by hate only. And that's the only reasoning for it. So definitely a lot has changed since the last time we saw an event like this. But
yeah. I can't. I think that's Very well said.
But hey, let's take a look at the Grizzlies' next 5 games.
False.
Some
I see a lot
winnable-
of false equivalencies out there. That's oh, they did this, and it's just it's infuriating.
Yep.
And then you juxtapose that with the fact that there were no recriminations for what happened to Jacob Blake in Wisconsin, and it just
Hey,
so
brother,
that,
I get it.
It doesn't take a whole lot to put two and two together if you really want to.
Yeah.
For those that want to be blind, nothing will make them see, and you can't reason with folks who don't want to be reasoned with. And you see a good example of people. Sometimes people this sort of thing helps people to reveal who they really are. And you see, for example, offensive line coach Chris Malone of UT Chattanooga had a this gentleman who works with players. I'm sure I haven't checked the UT Chattanooga roster. I'm pretty sure there's a few black folks.
Yeah, it's probably the majority black.
Yeah.
Actually. I'd be willing.
That'd be my guess, but I'm not going to make.
I don't like making assumptions.
I'm going to just. I think you're probably right, but I'll leave it at. I bet you there's a mix, let's say, of white and black. Maybe more pepper than salt, but we'll see. Anyway, he tweeted out pretty racist, terrible thing late last night, or late, I guess, actually in the wake of the Georgia elections Tuesday night. They all sort of blend together, and in calling Stacey Abrams Fat Albert, and a lot of ridiculous comments like that, and folks.
And then he tagged her in the tweet, so that's like legit bullying.
Yeah. A diverse and accepting campus is what they say. So, yeah. And he's deleted his account now, but but guess what,
bro? You know the level. Pause, man. You know the level of like hatred and ignorance that has had to have consumed you for you to be a college football coach, not a head coach, but you're working your dream job. I'm sure. On some path to your dream job. The level of hate.
Exactly, yeah.
The level of hate that has to consume you where you do something where you know is probably going to end your job. That's a high level of hate, bro.
You get to that point.
Just like it's people who like own businesses and have these jobs who say this stupid stuff and like, bro, like this is like a public forum. That's how consumed by hate you are that you don't even care? Oh, man. Wild times we live in, brother. Wild times, Daddy, when you...
Hard times, Daddy.
When you just
spend
trying to get your stimulus check and you walk in and there's a whole...
country that spends $750 billion on defense, and a guy who looks like a weird Viking can walk right into your Capitol building, Daddy.
What's the guy for wrestling? What's the guy for wrestling, brother?
The Berserker. He looked like the Berserker. Sid Justice walking in, and they could take over. The actual NWO gets to walk in and take over your building. That's hard times, Daddy.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
You just stand in line trying to get your stimulus check. You're a black
Next thing you know,
the Proud Boys going to take over. You're in the middle of an insurrection. What in the world are we talking about? Bro, this is the craziest thing. Bro, a bunch of just regular dudes just walked into the Capitol building, bro. What are we talking about, man? Oh, God.
Walked in, and the part that I still am. They walked right out. And they held the door for him.
And this was all ignited by the president of the United States.
Like if you walked in, that's bad enough. That's terrible. You can't walk out. I saw people get dragged out of there by the Capitol Police when they were protesting the attempt to overturn Obamacare, and I saw a lady in a wheelchair getting dragged out by two Capitol Police.
Oh, yeah.
And they're letting these dudes just walk right out.
Oh yeah.
So it's just interesting. And
Man,
and
imagine, imagine like you're talking. Imagine like you were like Rip Van Winkle. You were asleep for like 20 years.
Yeah. Longer than that.
Or something like whatever. No, you wake up. Like, let's say you wake up, right? So, okay, so tell me what happened. Like, hey, you remember that movie Back to the Future 2, right? Yeah. You know, you remember the movie, right? Like, that dude, like, became president for real. Like, back with playing, man. What are you talking about? Like, yeah, for real. Yeah. Yeah, watch this movie, Wonder Woman 84. Like, the exact thing happens, bro. Like, for real.
It's yeah, I know.
Bro, like, what are we talking about, bro? This actually happened. That actually happened yesterday.
We got to get serious about actually, doing something about,
But in the sports news, the Grizzlies have 5 winnable games
showing
ahead on the schedule.
You have to actually, prosecute these people and actually, and the people that are responsible for generating, that level of hatred and, lying to people for all this time. Shameful. I mean, it's shameful, and our own folks here,
Yep.
representing us in the Senate without any courage or any conviction whatsoever,
Just
other than
doing
to
them.
lie to people. Probably should think about that too.
Texas says this is biased liberal horse crap. I don't even know what that means. Like I've said, I don't know anything about politics.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is right and wrong. All I know is like crazy and not crazy.
Yeah.
All I know is like
we're done. Yeah, we're done with all that.
Yeah. I don't even know what that means, bro. I'm serious. Like I don't get into the political stuff. Like I don't even know what happened.
Literally a armed.
Yeah. Come on.
Insurrection. Yes.
Oh, I heard it was.
Storm
I heard
the
it was fake. I heard someone said it was fake. Like it was just something set up, some stage to make Trump supporters look crazy. That's what I heard.
What do you suppose? Just kind of a fun, like kind of a little thought exercise. What do you think of all those people that were yelling and screaming and storming the Capitol yesterday? What if, like, instead of that one guy with the bad fade, the other guy? What if more than just that guy were black?
That guy got a pass.
Oh boy.
What do you think would happen? You think it would have let him walk in and walk out?
No. Been DOA.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, that would have been a.
And it had been justified. Then this morning you wake up to people saying how justified it was.
Said, how could you possibly storm the Capitol building?
Capitol
Of course they had to. Of course they had to respond. These thugs were out here.
Oh man!
Never seen anything more thuggish than yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't realize the Capitol building was a target. So.
You know what? The text that I thought would have made me upset today didn't. But I'm going to address this one, and I'm gonna get on and off of it real fast. Texas says I'm on neither side, but I just want to hear sports, please. No,
you're on neither side.
Yeah, you can't be on neither side, bro. Like something that big can't happen, and you think that we're gonna get on here and sugarcoat it for you so you can feel better to get through your day. It's not happening. One of the biggest breaches.
You can't be on neither side of this.
One of the biggest breaches in national security ever happened yesterday. So no, you're not going to get a sugar-coated show where we just say something to help you feel better to get through your particular day. I don't give a crap about your day. As a black man, I have to fear about my son's life because of stuff that happened yesterday, my own personal life. So no, we're not just going to blaze over this and just talk about the Tigers having a break until January the 14th. So I hate that you feel uncomfortable, but imagine my life, sir. But as you were saying, Peter.
Well, so I mean, that's the
man. These people kill me.
There's no, you can't. There's no. I'm not on either side of your.
Yeah, but if you're on either side, you're on the wrong side. You're on the wrong side.
The attempt to subvert democracy with violence, or not to do that, you're like, well, I can't tell. I just
want to hear about sports. It's coming.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Just give us a minute. Let us process some of this stuff.
I think like everybody in the country, though, you're
you don't need to be distracted from anything. This needs to be dealt with face on. Like, this ain't distraction time. Anyway, that was my angry black man moment. Sponsored by, I don't know, Murray's Hair Grease. One can last a lifetime.
I mean, it's.
I apologize, Peter.
If you're not,
apologize.
Apologize.
Like, it's not time for that, man. Like, what are you talking about?
It's not.
I just want to hear about sports. What sports you want to talk about, bro? Because every sport yesterday was impacted by what happened yesterday.
Like,
yeah, I mean, they had to cancel the college football game because or college basketball game.
A college football coach got on Twitter and called one of the most if young black girls had anybody to look at as a role model, it would be her. And you called her Fat Albert.
Men, I mean,
exactly.
Look at me.
This lady came in and made political change throughout the nation, all by herself. I joked about where's Wonder Woman? Like, that's a true Wonder Woman,
right?
And this idiot gets on. And let's talk about sports with. You want to play the Draymond Green clip or whatever? What y'all want to do?
We can't play.
Man, we got to. I know. I know, bro. These people kill me, man. Like, come on, man.
But you can't.
This ain't time to be distracted from nothing, because your life is probably fine regardless. Yeah, but that's it.
Oh man! All right, we'll come back. Like I said, we will get our friend. And that's why I appreciated
Dustin Starr. Like, I don't want none of this crap. I don't want this smoke, man.
9 o'clock. Maybe we'll. But like we that's why John Gasway was like, hey,
I can't do it.
I can't do it today. That's okay. I mean, like I get it. There it is.
Dustin Starr. Hey man, I was watching AEW and Sting. Yeah, we'll be all right by the time Dustin comes on. It'll be a total different vibe in here, man. We'll be good.
Hour number 1 continues here. Yep. Live and local. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Same great shows.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays.
What's up? It's Sports 56 Happy Hour.
A new spot on the FM dial. Check out Sports 56 on our new FM home at 98.5.
I know the sweetest thing in Memphis, and I know it's been around for 115 years. I'm talking about Dinstall's, and it's time to stock up heavy on Cashew Crunch, Heavenly Crunch, Turtlettes, all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. So easy to get. The sweetest thing in Memphis, all you have to do is head to Laurelwood or head to Germantown and Poplar right across from the hospital, or go where they make the candies. That's on Pleasant View. There's nothing that says Memphis better than Cashew Crunch with that little tinge of coconut, or the Turtlettes. Let's face it, there's nothing better than Dinstall's chocolate. That's the mainstay of all candies, isn't it? Milk chocolate, although their dark chocolate is pretty darn good. And if you get the peppermint with the dark chocolate and put it in the freezer, you're going to love it. So many ways to love Dinstall's. Stock up heavy on all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. 115 years of making Memphis oh so sweet.
If ever there was a time for comfort food, this is it. And there's no comfort food like Sunrise on Jefferson. Fresh-made breakfast featuring Sunrise's signature homemade square biscuits, or the huge selection of hot, fresh, and fast lunch items are all part of what has always made Sunrise the most comforting of comfort foods in Memphis. Of course, everything that can be done to keep you and the staff safe at Sunrise is a top priority. And you can always order ahead and get delicious Sunrise to go. At a time this confusing, it's good to know there's one thing you can count on: Sunrise.
Are you part of the cash economy but want to bet online? Action 24/7 has you covered. Deposit and withdrawal in cash. Place your bet online. Action 24/7 has more than 100 partners in Tennessee for cash deposits and withdrawals. Visit action247.com for a location near you. Cash deposits and withdrawals from your Tennessee sportsbook. Action247.com. You got action.
Must be 21 or older and in Tennessee. For problem gambling support, call 800-889-9789.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Ruddock Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day, group play, and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good. I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Who is that?
I don't know what this is.
This is John Moxley.
Oh yeah, my boy. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
By the way,
Who was that in the first
I
song?
thought Zach was going to be like, he's the honky tonk man.
Yeah.
This is Bad News Brown here.
Yeah, the first one. The first one was Kenny Omega.
All right, you doing AEW today?
Yeah.
AEW still taking over, man. Speaking of takeovers, AEW, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they on the
Yep.
rise, man.
That's it. I mean, that's we've been trying to talk about it. It's they're getting there.
We're going to have Dustin Starr on the last hour of the show. We'll talk about that with him. AEW coming, taking over. Yeah.
That's where we are. I will be curious to see the reaction of the Grizzlies in the Cavaliers in action tonight. A lot of injuries, 12 injuries between the two teams. So a lot of your favorites won't be on the court, like John Conchar, probably leading the way on the injury list.
Yeah,
he's out.
I thought you were going to say Killian Tilly. Actually, is the major loss.
Tough for the Killians. The foreign Killians have had a rough go of it.
Mm-hmm.
Killian Tilly, of course, is missing time with his extended injury situation. He's really had injuries throughout his entire career. And then Killian Hayes, who was drafted in the lottery by the Pistons, 7th overall, from France. He tore his labrum of his hip. He's going to be out probably for the year, and that's an injury that could be a career threatener. It's a bad one. So.
I didn't even see that yesterday. I saw the Markelle Fultz, which is equally disheartening. The guy was just really getting it together, really getting his after the shoulder stuff. Finally, showing signs of the guy who was taken number 1 in the draft, and now he has that injury that's going to have him out for the season. Just hard to hear that for Markelle Fultz.
Yeah, it was really sad to hear. It's been an inspiring story of him being able to come back and get his mind right and start playing really well and earn himself for the extension. So that was that was good for him. But yeah, the Killian Hayes thing is that's a tough one because that one could be a career shortener or ender theoretically. I mean, if it comes back, people that have had that injury talk about how difficult it is to deal with and how painful it is. So.
But yeah, as I segued in the last couple of segments, the Grizzlies do have a winnable bunch of games ahead. If you take a look at their situation, at least in the next 5, pulling it up right now, you got Cleveland, of course, tonight. You got Brooklyn, who will be without Kevin Durant with the COVID situation he's going through. Got Cleveland again, and then 2 games against Minnesota. Those are all games that you think this Grizzlies team they really need those games in the situation they're in now. Of course, with Ja being out, Justice, Jaren. So, it could be a nice little patch of winnable games for the Grizzlies before they get the Monstars East in the Philadelphia 76ers.
What will happen quicker, justice for the country or Justice Winslow?
Let me see. Justice for African Americans or Justice Winslow. Justice hasn't played a game in 2 years, so I think I'm going to have to go with Justice Winslow, man. I'm going to have to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with Justice Winslow, though.
I think the Grizzlies, though, need to take a tip from yesterday. They don't need to follow the defense that we saw from the Cavaliers. police. They really allowed a lot of interior play. They allowed them to get inside way too easily. And,
yeah, man.
Yeah,
you got to step out.
Painted.
You can't just sit in the paint. You got to step out, JV.
They played that drop defense. There was a little pick and roll, and they just sort of dropped back and let them get to the basket. And you can't do that. You got to. The night shift changed and kind of they got a little more aggressive. They played a little full court press.
Bench unit came in.
Yeah, bench unit came in with some energy, little energy in their response.
Did you guys see? Did you guys see this tweet from yesterday? It was like
saw several.
It's like it was a screen grab from Facebook that they brought over to Twitter. Somebody said that if the Capitol had the Oak Court Mall doors, they would have never gotten in.
Never would have gotten through. That's
never
true.
gotten
Those
in.
doors
Those jokers were about 900 pounds each. I mean, just. I saw one of the tweets of the day was that when
oh God!
You see what happens? Tommy Tuberville, gets sworn in as a senator, and immediately the Capitol defense starts to suffer.
Guys, I got it. I'm telling you, I got this.
I got it.
This is what I do. I'm a leader of men.
Oh man! All right. Hour number 1 in the books. Like I said, we would normally talk to John Gasaway, but today we will not.
I understand that not want to come on. It's good.
Yeah, he was his, like I said, it was his, he made that decision. I certainly respect that. So, and support him in that. So that was his call. So we'll continue hour number 2 here, live from the Family Leisure Studios, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
2021 is finally here. Might I suggest we start the wonderful new year with a makeover for your beautiful house. I'm Brian Elder. I'm a roofer. I fix roofs. Don't let them tell you that it has to be replaced when all it may need is some love. 867-0303. Let me love on your roof. I've made quite the reputation over the last decade as the guy to call after the insurance company denies the claim. Overturning a claim that has gone bad is an art form where you argue county code, manufacturer specs, and details of your policy that they have to abide by. So let me see it first. If I say it's a claim, it's a claim. 867-0303. Money is free at Brian Elder Roofing with 0% financing for half a decade. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you a quote right over the phone. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Encore flavor. Corky's Barbecue.
Corky's is your home for authentic Memphis barbecue. Our dining rooms are open, or stop by our speedy drive-thru. Order your party packs today starting at only $5.99 per person.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Do
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
Still dealing with a crash on Airways at Shelby Drive, tree on the road on Chulahoma and Rains. Also, we have a new crash on Sanga Road at Macon. And right now in Mississippi, in DeSoto County, we're dealing with heavy traffic on I-55 northbound before Church Road. And also heavy traffic on Goodman Road between Tulane and Mallard Creek. So heavy traffic in the DeSoto County area. So that's your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Who's this?
This is Chris Jericho.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Yeah, Jericho, like, he need to wrap it up too, but it needs to be the farewell too.
Yeah, I'm a big big fan of his career and all that. But yeah, it's
he ain't looking like the Lionheart no more.
No. I understand. Listen, I get it.
Looks like he's barely relying on his heart.
I get a little, little extra on the old midsection myself. Yeah. I understand. I get it. It's certainly it's natural. That's the way it goes.
He ain't looking like himself.
No, I totally agree with that. Hour number 2 is here from the Family Leisure Studios. I'm Peter. He's Sane. You got Zach. We are just kind of doing the best to talk through all this stuff. To be quite honest with you, I mean that's really what it comes down to. So, we're going to do our best to talk everybody through it, and I can't act like it's a normal day because it's not. I don't think that's appropriate. I don't think it's appropriate to act normal. I don't think it's appropriate to pretend like everything is normal. I don't think that that would be a proper representation of life. I know historically, we always talk about you like to talk about how your goal in life was to be the Black George Lapidus. The George Lapidus wouldn't have been a normal day for him.
No,
I can tell you that. So I don't think it's a normal day for any of us. It's a sad day. Hopefully, it's a day that acts as the beginning of a better time. Although being cynical about that is probably the right approach. I'm not holding my breath, but I suppose I can remain hopeful of that. Hopefully, there will be consequences to what happened. The insurrection yesterday that was fomented by the president. That's crazy words to say, but that's really where we are right now, unfortunately. And in the same time, you have folks, more melanated brothers and sisters out there trying to protest, and typically, can't so much as walk around without getting tear gassed and maced and beaten and sometimes killed. And then you have the 3,000 strong Capitol Police allowing an armed insurrectionist mob to walk right in and walk right out.
Because that wasn't about
trash the place and completely trash the people's house, where the people's business is done, the seat of government, a place that didn't get breached during the actual Civil War, saw the Confederate battle flag flying in it. Never happened during the Civil War. Wouldn't have been allowed to happen. Was allowed to happen yesterday in an act of defiance and infuriating racism and just an awful.
And it wasn't a
stomach-churning display.
It wasn't an act of patriotism. Like
certainly not.
It wasn't anything that would make you proud of being an American. It was strictly about power and race and ignorance.
Yep.
All those type of things. So, excuse me, as a African American man, black man, or a non-white person. You know what I mean? Just because I don't think the people who were doing all those things yesterday, I think they pretty look at everyone the same in a sense. So, excuse me for wanting to detour, because I like I told you yesterday. I said, bro, I don't really know where I'm at as far as tomorrow goes. You know, it'll be hard for me to get out there and just be, sporty sports guy tomorrow. So. Cause that's the type of stuff that, make you just want to have your kids with you. You know what I mean? So you don't want to be doing nothing but that for a while. And, you pull up to the lot today, and I've told Zach this before, bro. If there's ever a time where there's stupid stuff going on in the country, in the city, like don't go in that building by yourself. And I know that people might hear that and think that sounds stupid, but man, people are idiots. You know what I mean? People will. There are people who are dedicated enough to nonsense that they text or tweet or write letters or emails to us daily. I don't know what these idiots might do, man. You know what I mean? So,
well, I mean,
but yeah, bro. So it's like stick to sports, yeah, cool. But sometimes you got to derail, man. Like it's sometimes stuff happens where you have to. You can't ignore, history-altering moments like yesterday. Like you said, the Confederate flag has never flown in that building before, and it was flown yesterday. So
yeah, I mean that's just.
I guess that was just want to show some love for the South,
History. It's just a heritage. Asinine.
Yeah.
I try to explain. I mean, I try to explain to my kids, who are, in elementary school. Try to explain to them, what's happened, and try to put it in terms that they would understand. And my older son, we were able to explain to him a little more in depth about, some of the power structures and some of the reasons behind all this. And but my daughter is younger, and I didn't know how to even really. How do you address that with kids that's 6? She's 6. Like how do you address that? Because you can't just ignore it. People are going to talk about it at school and whatever else. So, we sort of settled on, in her language, basically just had a bunch of people told her that a bunch of people were acting like bullies, that were trying to scare people, and just like somebody, they didn't like something, and so they acted. Like bullies, and tried to take something away from people that was not theirs. And she that was language she understood. But I think it's sad that we have to make those kinds of stipulations. But that's what's happened. So I pray for brighter days.
Yeah. And if you know anything about bullies, Peter, the bully is typically the one that's the most afraid. It's something that's going on in the bully's life, that he's the one that's afraid, and he takes it out on who he perceives to be the lesser people. But he's the one that's really got the problem, and he fears change. He fears what's on the other side of today or whatever. So
yeah, he's insecure about whatever he's got going on, or there's some absolutely. Well, that's why
like
I think
you said, I hope the change is coming and the bullies are put in their proper place.
But you don't deal with bullies by letting them bully you and then walk away and then and thinking that they've learned and somehow they're going to change.
But bullets be warned. There are places more secure than the Capitol building.
Yeah.
If you come in those, you might,
Almost any place in the world is more secure than the Capitol building yesterday, apparently.
So, yeah.
So, I mean,
Go where you're welcome. You clearly were welcome yesterday. So
yeah.
Because if you come up on
you take a wrong step in the casino, and you'll have 3 million people.
Right.
These dudes can walk into the Capitol building. It's just it's obvious what people care about and what they choose not to care about. And like I said, if the wrong people in these police folks' eyes had done so much as breathed on it, then there would have been a lot more bloodshed and violence. But it just so happened that the privilege was in full effect, and you saw it yesterday. A sickening display.
Right.
Bully. But the one thing I learned about bullies is they don't just stop being bullies.
Yeah.
If the circumstances that developed that allowed them to become bullies don't change, then they're not going to change. You have to change the reasons why. You have to change the underlying circumstances. You have to change something about it, or else it's going to happen again and again and again. So, I hope there needs to be prosecutions. There needs to be severe recriminations. But I'm not holding my breath that that's actually going to happen. We shall see. I'll be curious to see how many, if any, of the Grizzlies and Cavs want to speak on this. I know some players were
Coach JB Bickerstaff, who came through here, of course.
Yeah, JB. I mean, like I said, just as nice dude, man. Nice dude, great family. He's talking about how his 8-year-old daughter is, scared and worried that they're going to come into his house. And like I said, when you talk to kids, man, it's kids take this stuff differently. And
yep, I remember when
especially as you pointed out, black kids. I mean, like it's
my son loves police officers. Like, he thinks they're like for real heroes. And I remember how bad I felt driving down the street and Gabe telling me, "Dad, slow down. There's a police officer over there." Hurt me bad, man. Like, for him to hear him say that, because he saw the stuff that was going on.
Breaks your heart, man. And they have to, the kids have to grow up, but they have to grow up. They don't need to grow up this fast. And I like for my kids to live in their bubble as much as they can.
Yeah, man.
I try to protect them from some of this stuff, but that's part of my privilege, is I can protect them a little differently than you can, for example. And I think we all have to accept that's just that's the reality of where we are, and it's sad, and it's a shame, and it needs to change. But if no one's going to actually do anything when stuff like this happens, then how are you going to change? Where's change going to come from? As Steve Kerr said yesterday, 2 big questions in America. What are we going to do about the terrorists who stormed the Capitol, and how are we going to guard Lou Williams without fouling? Steve Kerr was very good, and his dad. I mean, I don't know if you know the story of Steve Kerr's family, but his dad was a ambassador to Lebanon and was in Beirut and was killed by terrorists. And so he's Steve Kerr is very politically aware, very thoughtful, has a lot of history, and obviously has a personal connection to terrorism in a way that sadly not very many have. And I'm glad not very many have it, but it's very, very sad for him that he does. So he was just kind of dealing with that stuff. But yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Kind of hard to play defense without fouling Lou Williams.
It is. Very similar to what we saw yesterday. A very similar defensive effort, right there.
Yeah. And Way Off P had a bounce back game. 21-12.
Tyrese Halliburton, big night last night.
That dude's playing ball for real though.
He is.
Halliburton.
He is. He went off on the president on Twitter, and then followed up by scoring 15 points in the fourth quarter in his first game back from injury. 17, 7, and 6 for him. He looks really, really good.
Rookie of the Year candidate.
Very much so. Yeah. Very, very composed. Very Like he's a mature guy. Like he looks like a veteran. When you watch him play, he doesn't look like a rookie at all.
And he doesn't look like he's 30 though.
No,
he
doesn't. He looks young. He actually looks like his age. But he hit a huge 3-pointer at the end to seal the game for the Kings. Like I said, scored 15 in the fourth quarter. Yeah, he was outstanding. So I gotta say, man, kudos.
Looks like he might be Doug Christie's kid.
He does have some. He does. Yeah. He definitely has that kind of a look to him.
Former Sacramento King, great legend, Doug Christie. Look like he might literally be his son. But yeah, I like his game. Nice combo guard. Knock down the three. Got nice size. Plus, I think Fox is out right now for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm a big Halliburton guy.
Yeah, he's for real. He's for real. I also give credit to the Knicks. Julius Randle at 30, 16, and 7 last night against Rudy Gobert.
That dude's having a year, man. That guy's having a year for real. Like Julius Randle is, he's looking like, why did y'all draft a low budget me in the draft?
Why do y'all have 13 power forwards on this team
right.
when I'm here?
How many combo forwards do y'all need, man?
The Knicks beat the Jazz. Jazz look terrible so far. I don't know what's going on with them. But
hey,
they look.
I'm gonna say this. I said this a few weeks ago, and you laughed at me. Bring me my draft pick. Is all I need.
Rubbing my hands like Birdman.
Man, bring me my draft pick.
Better bring me my draft pick. Well,
hey, if they don't make the playoffs this year, hey. Let the Grizzlies have 2 top 10 picks, man. Let it happen in this draft. Let it happen.
It could. It absolutely could. They are. I mean, they just don't. They don't. It's I don't know, man.
I said this a while ago. I said this about a month ago. That was mocked for saying that. Utah's not that good.
Like I said, we'll see. I don't know. I think I think they are a playoff team. I think they'll get it together, but they certainly are.
Could you see a scenario where they're in the play-in, where they're 7 through whatever?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then they mess around and not make it. Oh, that'd be so glorious. And that would actually count that they were in. They were going to they're going to the lottery, right? Yeah, because you know how
lottery,
you know in the bubble it was weird. Like, it was like your final standings were based on where you were when the season ended and not the playing games or whatever, however that worked. As far as I don't know. I don't even want to think about that. But yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I don't even know. I'm glad we're having some play-in games or that kind of thing because, frankly, I don't even know. Like John Moran had 35 points in that game.
The game that didn't exist.
That was his prior to this year. That was his career high, and that game didn't even count. It wasn't even technically in the record books. His career high was listed as 30 because that game, like, they didn't have a place for that game to go. So I'm glad we're actually going to see more of those games. At least that will count for something right there. Just so you know, Utah's pick is protected for everything except 8 through 14. So if Utah ends up in the bottom half of the lottery this year, then that pick would go to the Grizzlies. Next year, it changes to merely top 6 protected. So that's where it's going to go. Top 6 protected in 2022, top 3 protected in 2023, and top 1 protected in 2024 if they've somehow avoided giving it to the Grizzlies by then.
So next year is the most likely scenario. Next year, as opposed to.
When they made the trade, they certainly had assumed that it would be a 2022 pick that they were getting. That was the internal calculus from the Grizzlies. They said, if you go look at their planning boards, that's where that pick is sitting right now. But could Utah squirrel around and mess up and end up in the bottom part of the lottery this year? Yeah, definitely. The way they're playing, and with bad losses, like getting absolutely housed by the Nets without KD, and then getting thumped by the Knicks last night, who the Knicks are having a nice start to the season, but let's not go crazy. Yeah, could they end up as with a pick 8 through 14? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That certainly could happen. So
now the pick that I thought was
keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that for sure.
The pick that I thought that was going to be golden was going to be the Golden State Warriors pick in a few years. I think it's 2024. But if they're bad again this year and they get a freaking top 4, top 5 pick, I don't think the Warriors are going to end up being that bad. Though. I think they're going to be decent by the time the season's over.
I mean, it's so hard to say because 2024 is still a long way away. But that pick is projected 1 through 4 in 2024, and so the likelihood is that you'll get a first round pick in 2024 out of it. By then Steph Curry will be LeBron's age now. Draymond Green, how well will he age? His game age, I don't know. What will James Wiseman turn into?
Yeah.
Will they have other draft picks? Will Andrew?
And what would
Wiggins
James
actually
Wiseman be if
figure
those
this
other
thing
guys
out?
are bums? Like if Steph's done and Draymond's done, what does Wiseman look like then?
Klay Thompson.
Because you figure nobody, none of those other guys will be there. You figure Wiggins won't be there. You figure that Kelly Oubre won't be there. You look at those as being kind of.
I mean, Wiggins is under contract through that year though.
He is. Good God.
Yeah. That's why trading him was just like he got a max deal. Like he's on a max deal.
Speaking of max deals,
22, 23 or something like that. I mean, he's under contract for a while.
Speaking of max deals, Bradley Beal last night.
Woo,
bro. Say what you want to say, Memphis Grizzlies fans. I've been trying to talk this reality into you guys for a while. There is nobody on that roster outside of Demetrius Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. that I would not trade for Bradley Beal. There's no draft pick I would hold on to. And I still don't think that'll be enough. But who knows? But, bro, Bradley Beal, I'm aware of how good Bradley Beal is. But I didn't know Bradley Beal was this freaking good.
Yeah.
I knew he was a guy that could knock down threes. And I knew he could, dribble a little bit, get to the basket. That dude looks freaking ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
Doesn't he, lead the league in scoring right now? Even before last night when he went off for 60?
We had 60. And
yeah.
Although afterwards he said, he's like, I'm sick of having these games and losses. I'm sick of losing these games, and which bro. I get. Brad Beal's great. I mean,
I'm not breaking news. Yeah. This is just me stargazing. But bro,
no, Bill was one of my guys that I really wanted.
Bro, Bradley Beal
I wanted Bradley Beal.
That dude looking like the coldest dude in the league right now. Dude dropped 60 last night, man. On the team with Russell Westbrook. How you get that many shots and Russell Westbrook is your teammate, man?
Hard to do. He's it's
somebody was like,
good.
Somebody was like, man, I just couldn't see not Brandon, man, that BC is a heart and bro. I would clone Brandon Clark and send them both of them. How many you need? I got one more for you. Bradley Beal.
Brandon Clark is quickly become one of those guys that is massively overrated by Grizzlies fans. I like Brandon Clark, but
I love him.
He's not irreplaceable by any stretch of the imagination. And if he can get you a player, if he could ever get you a player of that quality, oh my God, it wouldn't even be.
Let go,
bro.
Where do you sign? And it seems I don't know. It just seems destiny because his name is Beal. He's Beal Street. I mean, it's perfect.
Beal on Beal.
I mean, we're just waiting for.
Beal on Beal.
I don't know.
I called my good friend Kelly Evans from the Undefeated. Used to write for the Tri-State Defender. Now she writes for ESPN. Couldn't get hired in Memphis though. That's strange. Anyway, that's a whole other subject. Couldn't get hired in Memphis. Now she writes for ESPN. It's a nice little upgrade there. But I talked to her about it. I've been trying to get her to find a way to get Bradley Beal to Memphis, and she doesn't want to help me. Seems like. I think she was
That's
trying
not very nice.
She lives in the D.C. area and won't help at all.
That's
I've seen Kelly work magic in the locker rooms at times. I'm sure you have as well, Peter.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
without it, one of the nicest people in the world.
Yeah, I said, Kelly, how you be getting all these exclusive interviews with players that you work for like the smallest newspaper in the city? He's like, I just come there smelling good and talking sweet to him. Like, oh, okay. He said, I'm like a mama to them boys. Like, oh, okay. I can't do that. I can't come in there smelling sweet nor talking.
No.
I can't come in there talking good nor smelling sweet to him. So.
No. I mean, you could try. I don't think it had the same effect.
Like, nice cologne, bro. Nah, get out my face.
Yeah. Why are you talking? Why are you talking like that?
Log out the Zoom call. Why are you talking sweet to me?
Yeah,
but yeah, man, Bradley Beal, bro.
That's what you're gonna do for the next Zoom calls. I mean, before I ask my question, I'd like to note that I do smell very sweet. Put on some cologne.
No, I'm just gonna spray it up live on the thing. Yeah, man, Shout out to all y'all, man. Y'all looking good out there, man. Real talk. Get the Jay Crowder voice going on it, man. I used to like Jay, you just too sexy, man. Like, bro, like for real, Jay Crowder. Come on. Come on, Jay Crowder.
He got the boss man underwear.
Yeah,
like
the boss man underwear. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say nothing until he put the rings on. He had the big big fur coat on. It was like 82 degrees outside. You remember that day? Say, Jay Crowder, it's not cold outside. You got
it's
a
not cold
huge
at all. Yeah.
fur coat on. He's like,
No,
yeah, man.
styling and profiling, baby.
Yeah, these guys, man, they're locked in, man. Jaron, John, man. Like, bro, you too sexy. It's all dudes back here, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. I know you're trying to look sexy on the gram or whatever you're doing, man. But come on, you're talking to me, man. Come on.
It's just well, hilarious. We'll come back.
Come on, Jay Crowder.
We'll come back. I want to look a couple things for tonight's game. To look at a couple of bits of information as we continue here on the program live from the Family Leisure Studios. Real Sports Talk Sports 56 98.5 96.1.
You have opinions?
I think they got a lot of athletic ability.
We want to hear them.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you.
Call us on the First Bank phone line at 360-8255 or text us on the First Bank text line at 67129.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
Kevin Harlan here from Westwood One. Join us for Super Wild Card Weekend. Saturday, it's the Colts at Buffalo. The Rams visit Seattle. And Washington will host Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then on Sunday, Derrick Henry and the Titans host Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. The Bears are in New Orleans. And the Browns are at Pittsburgh. If it's the NFL playoffs, it's right here.
Catch the NFL playoffs on Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5.
At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build-your-own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
Sports 56 traffic.
Still dealing with the crash on Sanger Road at Macon. Also, heavy traffic in DeSoto County. Heavy traffic in the area of Goodman Road between Tulane Road and Mallard Creek. And also slow traffic on I-55 northbound before Church Road. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good. I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
I don't sleep cause my head's on fire. I hate creeps and I hate liars. Oh, you want the grave kept secret that I never tell. I'm up in heaven, but I came from hell.
This is Darby Allin.
My guy. I like that dude, bro. I like his gimmick, man.
Yeah, he's very good. I don't ever remember his music, but
he's like a disturbed teenager, you know.
He is. He's
just wants to. For real, man. You ever watch this? Zach?
No, never seen.
Oh yeah,
Zach, you got to come by the man cave, man, with a mask on. We can watch some AEW 1 week, man. Good stuff, man. Like the Darby Allin, he's like a disturbed kid.
Man cave on the 75. You watching it on the big TV?
Yeah, it's not big as yours, but you know, it's holding its own. It's twice as big as Zach's TV.
Zach's going to.
Zach, I use your TV as a secondary monitor to my computer, man. Come on, man, get up, man. You can get you a 55 for like $300.
Yeah, not right now though. Like my
he's got to make it happen. He wants them to do the right thing.
Zach, I might get you one, man. Yeah. When I get that stimmy, man. When I get right, I might get you right, man.
Once you get
I might get you right, Zach. It ain't nothing.
Once you get the $2,000, you gonna get me right.
Yeah, you know, I got Gabe on my claim and Gabe on. You know, I got the double for my trouble. You feel me? I got you, bro. Ain't nothing but a little TV.
Or a big one, you know.
Yeah. Gotta get you the big boy club, Zach. You're a big boy, man. Come on.
Yeah, we got it. We're gonna level you up.
It's good. Oh, I'm good.
It's good. We're gonna get you a color TV someday too. You know, black and white. It's not as good. You know,
a good TV dinner while you're watching.
No.
That's right. Grizzlies, as we said, against the Cavs. I wanted to. I posted something yesterday before the world was being rocked and destroyed by insurrectionists. But in the pre-world, I posted numbers that I thought that you would get a lot of appreciation out of.
Love them.
Grizzlies, in terms of catch and shoot. So if someone passes you the ball, you catch it and then you shoot it. That's called a catch and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very important part of being able to space the ball is having threatening catch and shoot players that can catch the ball when it's passed to them and then shoot it. And who's the best at that? It will not surprise you at all to find out that it is Bane.
Yep.
Who felt right at home yesterday in the events of what was happening. Bane would have walked right in and said, "Yep,
it's my kind of party.
This is what I like."
People have got them. You've been led to believe the lies.
Like if you say the Bane, if you say like Rudy Giuliani's speech from yesterday, like in the Bane voice, it's pretty much the same. I mean, same similar deal. Anyway, the whole catch and shoot situation. So you need to have good catch and shoot players if you're going to have spacing on offense, and that's been something the Grizzlies have struggled with basically for their entire time in Memphis. So when they've got a guy that's doing what Bane is doing, he is this year 13 of 26 on catch and shoots, 50%. All but one of those, by the way, are 3-point shots. So one he had a catch and shoot 2, which I'm not even sure how you do that. But the other 25 are threes. 13 of 26 overall for him. That's 50%. That's very good. And then their second best is Gorgie Jang, who actually pairs really well with Bane. 9 of 21, 43%. After that, it's John Conchar, then Dylan Brooks. And if you notice, the starters are all at the bottom of this particular list. The entire Grizzlies starting lineup outside of the best shooter, Jonas Valanciunas, is down at the bottom of this list. Dylan Brooks, 34%. on 35 attempts. Kyle Anderson, 30% on 30 attempts. Grayson Allen, 26% on 19 attempts. Brandon Clark, 19% on 16 attempps. And Tyus Jones, 18% on 17 attempts.
So you're saying that Jonas isn't the best shooter on the team?
I'm saying he might be better than those guys. I'm saying he's not the worst based on the evidence that we've seen.
I see you don't have him on the list. I'm assuming he was
no, because he didn't take enough
shots.
shot.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah. You didn't. I hate to tell him, but he didn't take enough shots to actually really qualify for the list. So I think he's taken like 4 catch and shoot shots.
Okay.
I think he's like I believe he's like 1 of 4, something like that. So he didn't really qualify. Didn't have enough to really qualify for my list anyway. So as you see this. Number one, as John Hollinger responded to this tweet and said, I'm not sure why they haven't moved Conchar ahead of Grayson Allen in the rotation.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree. I'm not – at this point, can you tell me – and maybe you're not the one to ask. What does Grayson Allen like? You know that scene in Office Space when they go in there. Have you ever seen Office Space, the movie?
No.
In Office Space?
No.
Okay, so there's a scene in Office Space where they have consultants that come in, and this one guy whose job seems to be like that he just sort of walks from the top floor down to the bottom floor to talk to other employees. Doesn't really seem to have much of a function. The guy says, "What is it that you say? What you say it is that you do here? Like what do you actually do here?" That's the question I would have for Grayson Allen right now. What would you say it is that you do for this team? What is your function? What's Grayson Allen bringing to the party? You know, if we're talking about a table here, we're setting the table. It's a potluck.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think of a team as a potluck. You know, and everyone's got to bring something to the potluck. And the more that you can bring to the potluck, the more full that table is, the better the party is going to be. And, you got John Morant bringing lots of things to the party. You got Jonas Valanciunas bringing a very specialized dish to the party. You've got Jaren Jackson Jr. who can do all these things. Even John Conchar is bringing some little sides and some, different, sauces that kind of go with some of the main dishes. He's not bringing a main dish, but he's bringing some side dishes.
You made a good point.
That might be helpful.
Let me stop your story. John Conchar is kind of like the guy who kind of brings dip.
Yeah, like some dip. Like you need the dip.
You need
like,
that.
could you get along without it? Yeah, you'd be fine. But it's better with it. It's better with it.
Yeah. It just brought
That's
some
the way
ranch,
I look
bros.
at John Conchar.
Just brought some ranch, bros.
I thought you needed some
guac.
some queso. I brought some queso. I got the guac and the queso. That's Conchar. That's Jitty.
Yeah.
That's Jitty.
And you got to ask him
bringing
to
that
bring
stuff.
nothing, but he's just going to come and bring, the sauce, man. Bring the dip.
I had some ice. I got a bag of ice.
Yeah,
I heard
too much
you guys
ice,
needed
man.
some
Yeah.
ice. You can always say you always need another bag of ice.
That's
for
a
the
great
party,
analogy.
always.
Great analogy what he brings to the party.
So, but what does Grayson Allen bring into the party?
His ass.
he's just eating. The best I can tell, he's just eating.
He's bringing the appetite.
He's bringing the appetite, and nothing else. I mean, he's not a shooter because he doesn't even really shoot that much anyway, and he misses the shots that he's not a defensive wizard.
Right, and he's questionably 6'3", so he doesn't
not
look good beside John.
Particularly big. He's not. He's reasonably athletic, but he's not like he's not Russell Westbrook out there.
And bro,
I just don't know what he does. Like he's not doing anything.
Right.
He's not adding anything of value to the thing.
And as you know, if anybody in the city pulls for Grayson Allen, the person, it's the two guys who are talking about him right now.
No question.
I remember coming in, giving him the side eye, looking down my nose at him at Media Day a couple of years. Well, I don't know when that was. Because of COVID, it seems like that was 5 years ago. But that was last season's Media Day, right? Right? Grayson's first year was last year.
Mm-hmm.
Good God, it seems so long ago when that Media Day was, bro.
I know, man. I know.
But, yeah, I remember looking down my nose at Grayson Allen, like this is the dude that's fouling people and trying to fight Trae Young in summer league games and
right.
tripping people up. And you sparked the question that led Grayson Allen to say, hey, I've been getting counseling, I've been getting spiritual advice, I've been meditating, all these things to try to deal with it. He said, man, ever since I've been a small kid, I've been triggered by the craziest things. I never understood why, and I want to do better. Like I'm trying to be. I've never seen anybody be that transparent about any like real life issue they're going through. He's like, man, I remember like Pee Wee games and like parents would say stuff and it would trigger me when I was a little kid. I was like, what? So personally, as a person, and as an NBA player, I'm pulling for Grayson Allen to be successful, but I really don't see what he's bringing to this team at all. And I get
exactly. I mean,
I get the evaluation, I get the development, all those type of things, but man, it's just I'm done. I'm done with you, Grayson. But
no, that's exactly it. And the idea is, like you said, it has nothing to do with on a personal level with him or anything like that. Because I'm with you and talking to him. I had other conversations with him about mindfulness and meditation and mental health and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I talked to him after practice for a while
Right.
about this, that, and the other. And
I've seen him have spiritual conversations with Parker Fleming from Grizzly Bear Blues, where they've had open, talks about faith in the locker room. Like, he's a good dude, man. But that's not what we're talking about today. Like, you know what I mean?
It's not. There's been far too much in the Memphis media. One of the things that annoys me about the Memphis media and some of the colleagues that I have is that they allow their personal feelings about a player, good or bad, to cloud the evaluation of the player, and or a coach or front office or whatever. Like, that's always been the thing, and I just really think it's important, and we talk about it. That professionals, professional, and you joke and it's funny.
Right.
I have a really good relationship with Marc Gasol.
Right.
I've also
what do you call him off the clock?
Mark.
Y'all have nicknames and none?
Nah, none of that. We don't do that. But I've also criticized him and I asked him plenty of questions about, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Like, you have to put aside your personal feelings about a player to just evaluate them. Like, that's our job, is to evaluate the players. Like, or evaluate the team. What's happening? Like, to give you, the listener, and the follower and the reader and everything else the best our professional thought on it. And to do that, you have to set aside your personal feeling about them as an individual. And sometimes that causes friction and problems, and sometimes that causes some uncomfortable times, but that's the way it goes. Like, you have to do that. So yeah, I think it's important to stipulate. Same with Grayson Allen. It's like that with Josh Pastner. Like, I mean, Josh Pastner, nicest dude in the world. Like, great guy, all that. Like, but you just have to kind of evaluate. Like, it wasn't going very well. So that's just the way it is. And you have to just say, hey, just because somebody,
like Zach.
what they do in their
Zach
off
was
time.
a pioneer in the Josh Pastner era. We didn't want to give him the credit for that. Zach questioned Josh Pastner. Zach,
That's right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Coach.
Oh yeah.
Jumped down his throat.
Yep. Yeah, he knew it.
Well, first of all, who are you? Is that what he said? Something like that? Is that?
No, he just.
Are you from the Helmsman?
No.
Is this for a grade? Is that what he said? Is that what he said to Zach?
I wish he was. I wish he was.
Is this for extra credit?
No, he just he was very, very forceful in his answer, right?
Yeah.
It's
So,
incredible.
Zach was a pioneer the whole time, man. Look, Zach was just
Zach was on it. Zach was on it.
Ahead of the curve, man.
And just like Zach, just like Zach's the nicest guy in the world, but sometimes I have to criticize his performance. When he plays some weird music or something.
Yeah, when he plays Michael Jackson "Beat It" and said that's the theme song to Harlem Heat.
Yeah, that's. We have to just we have to call it like it is.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be real about it.
Right.
I can't sugarcoat it just because I like Zach personally, which I do. But that doesn't change my evaluation.
Right. When he's talking about traffic on Summer Avenue, he calls it Samir Ave. Like
Samir Ave.
Like, no, Zach is
Popular. There's a breakdown of popular. We got to talk about that.
It's a popular.
Anthony Sane. Anthony Sane, one of my favorite people on planet Earth. But when you say stupid stuff, I have to call you out on it.
Exactly,
That's just the way
man,
it is.
When you're talking about the transfer portal, it turns into transfer portal.
Yeah. And when I talk about how dogs don't have feelings, and all this,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
feel
We
free
talk
to
about
disagree
dogs
with me,
don't know
that's
they're
okay.
alive, and I
Yeah,
just saw a dog.
sometimes
When I just saw a dog across the street in traffic, that kind of stuff needs to be addressed.
You gotta. Sometimes you just gotta be. You gotta keep it real with people.
Yeah,
It doesn't
that's
matter how you
real.
feel about it personally. You just have to.
Right. Just like our Texans, our great Texans text in. When they say good stuff, we salute them. We thank them. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And
When
when you say idiotic stuff, you get blasted on the air, which is probably their
That's
goal
right.
anyway. They probably they were doing it for a reaction, so they got what they were
exactly
looking
right.
for.
Exactly
And
right
you know,
about
and when guys call in, they say that we need to run the ball through JV, and 8 hours later we get proof that was the dumbest thing to say. You know,
You have to keep it real.
better keep it real with them. And the next day, Big Ed, we had to get on your ass because you called here to say something that crazy, man. What's my guy who called Mel? When Mel said stuff like, man, you know, they're just sorry. They're just sorry. You know, that kind of stuff.
Lakers got worse by adding Marcus Gasol.
Lakers getting Marcus Gasol, man. Just a horrible.
They should have kept JaVale McGee.
Should have kept some athletes, man. Dwight Howard.
All right, okay.
Mel sounds like he's eating Pirtle's gravy while calling in.
It has thickened his voice.
Yeah, I'm just on these biscuits and gravy, man. Dwight Howard, how you let go of Dwight Howard?
Oh man.
How you let go of Dwight Howard?
All right. Well, we'll continue here with hour number 2. We'll talk a little bit about what's happening tonight. Also, give you an update on what's going on in the University of Memphis and a little update on that UT Chattanooga situation too. Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 98.5.
Get happy with Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. Weekday afternoons from 1 to 3 on Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
It's free furnace time. Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. Are you considering replacing your air conditioning system this spring? January is one of our slowest months of the year. Our warehouse is full and our crews are slow. So to spark business during these cold winter months, Conway Services is giving away Carrier 80% gas furnaces absolutely free with the purchase of a standard Carrier air conditioning system. That's right, purchase a Carrier air conditioning system in the month of January and get a gas furnace absolutely free. If that's not enough, we'll include an April air cleaner, a 10-year parts warranty, and a free Nest thermostat. That's up to $2,000 in savings. Plus, get your new system for as low as $139 per month or 12 months interest-free. Now, you can do that. And you know with Conway Services, you'll be receiving our award-winning service every time. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric service company at 384-3511. And the first 30 callers with a 10-year-old system will come out and inspect it absolutely free.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
There's a new commissary in town in Collierville. Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levee Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking, no telephone pole to get in your way, a cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
2021 is finally here. Might I suggest we start the wonderful new year with a makeover for your beautiful house. I'm Brian Elder. I'm a roofer. I fix roofs. Don't let them tell you that it has to be replaced when all it may need is some love. 867-0303. Let me love on your roof. I've made quite the reputation over the last decade as the guy to call after the insurance company denies the claim. Overturning a claim that has gone bad is an art form where you argue county code, manufacturer's specs, and details of your policy that they have to abide by. So let me see it first. If I say it's a claim, it's a claim. 867-0303. Money is free at Brian Elder Roofing with 0% financing for half a decade. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you a quote right over the phone. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
It's time, Memphis! Tune into Fox Sports Southeast and watch your Next Gen Grizzlies tonight at 7 p.m. when they host Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers, presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Check out Grizzlies.com for more information.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good. I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa, my father said, when I
Is there any
was
truth to the rumor
younger,
that the one black dude that was in the protest was actually Virgil?
He was somebody's personal assistant.
Vincent from the NWO.
He was somebody's butler.
That's what reminded.
Good God, man. Bro, when I saw that post and then I shared it on Facebook of the one black guy that was at the intrusion or whatever, and somebody said, man, that brother was just trying to get his stimulus
He
check.
was just getting the stimmy, man.
That brother was just trying to get an update, man. You know? He just, like, oh, man, this ain't what I came
It's like, I'm here for the
start-
culture, man. Like,
He was chanting. He's like, I guess I got to chant now. I don't want to.
Hey, he trying to blow my cover.
Wish I just checked online. I don't know why I didn't just,
My phone
check
was
the bank
tripping.
account online.
My phone was tripping,
You're this
man.
on the phone, and I had to walk up here. Boy, this was a.
I was on the way. I was headed this way anyway, so I just
Yeah.
said I'll swing you by.
It's like, oh, this fit? Oh man, I'm
man.
just blending in with my with my surroundings, man. I'm just here to check in on something.
Did y'all ever see? I can't remember who was the news outlet that recorded. I want to say it was maybe Fox or something. But anyway, it happened locally when they had a protest that happened. I want to say it was Elvis's birthday or something like that. It was a Black Lives Matter protest. You all remember that? It happened like in front of Graceland or something.
Yeah. I remember that.
And it was this was this was like 2016 or in the modern era of racism when people believe that racism kicked off in the modern era. But it was a guy there, and he was like an older gentleman. He says, and he had some candles with him, but it was like tea light candles. Like he obviously didn't have the candles that were like for the Elvis event. Right. But he was a protester, and he was like, I don't understand, man. He's like, I was just down here to celebrate Elvis, you know. And then people calling me. I came down there, and they wouldn't let me in. Like they didn't want me to be part of what they was doing. He said, so I just went on hop with the other protesters. He was obviously lying, you know. He had like some tea lights, man. He didn't even have the standard issue candles needed to to commemorate Elvis. But that brother was like, man, I'm 55 years old. Who's not an Elvis fan from Memphis? Like he had this whole story of how he wasn't. It was so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. Oh man, but yeah.
Well, there's some news from the other side of the state. University of Tennessee officials have not extended the contracts of any assistant football coaches and have paused hiring coaches at all for any vacancies as they continue to investigate whether recruiting violations occurred within the program. They've hired a couple of attorneys to assist their in-house counsel in compliance officials in the internal investigation. And so they are looking through it, and apparently there's been a pretty extensive investigation about all of this, centering on the recruitment of Amarius Mims, the number 3 offensive tackle in the country in the 2021 ESPN 300. He's part of the inquiry he ended up signing with Georgia. Also, Eric Gray is a big part of this as well and is being looked at rather closely. There's a lot of rumors about his involvement in all of this as well. And he was held out of the last game of the season as a part of this whole thing. So, along with a few other people. But it's a good thing that they extended Jeremy Pruitt, certainly.
We never got your comments on that extension either, Peter.
Oh yeah, you got him. You got it. You'll keep getting them. Full I've said it many times before. We are past the time where the old ball coach needs to go up and be the athletic director. It's a totally different set of skills, totally different rule, totally different situation. The old football coach going up and being the old AD, no. That's what gets you Jeremy Pruitt getting an extension. Nobody else on planet Earth would have given this man an extension.
But the old ball coach.
Old ball coach. Oh, you're doing a great job, buddy. Play accent like I do. You old football coach. Here's another $400,000. People out here can't get jobs. And we're going to raise you and give your staff extra money too in the middle of the pandemic.
We got to bring this to the next hour, man. We can't let Peter's UT rants just be wasted away in the final moments of an hour.
God, it's just, it's absurd. It's absurd. And then you have the audacity of Jim Chaney, the offensive coordinator, who did a terrible job this year, not to give back any of the money when he was asked to in order to help other people in the athletic department get paid. This man who's making $1.6 million and was asked to give back a little piece of that. He's like, no, I'm good. We're doing great. We're a great team. Obviously, I'm doing a really good job, and so I'm going to keep all this money.
Yeah. It's your boys, man.
Awful. Awful. Bryce Thompson, out. He's entering the draft. Ty Chandler, Austin Pope in the transfer portal. JT Shrout,
Who
out.
now? He's in the transfer what?
Purtle.
Okay.
And DeAndre Johnson transferring as well. So Tennessee, it's gone very poorly. It's
Poverty University, bro. Shout out to my boy Scotty Oates. But this is a poverty program.
It's really that's the thing. It's really not, because they spend plenty of money. They're not. It's not like they. See, I always think of poverty programs as not trying or just kind of whatever. They're trying. They're just terrible. They're dumb. Bunch of dummies. Morons.
Yeah.
Hour number 3 on the way. We're going to talk a little squared circle action. We had a little NWO invasion angle yesterday played out in real life, and I have to get out.
When they were having their
see what he thought about the angle. I didn't think the booking was very good yesterday.
Yeah, when they were planning, guys, where did DX go wrong? Near.
When they were in Virginia, Roanoke, Virginia, trying to get in when the Nitro was at that at the Scope in that Coliseum. Can we look at X-Pac? What was he doing?
China.
Yeah,
China, you can stay at home. We don't need your virus over here on our side. China, you just sit this one out.
You sit this one out. That's right.
We don't need your virus.
Get New Age outlaws out here. There you go.
We don't need your pandemic.
2 words for you.
Go to break.
All right. Hour number 3 on the way. Stick around.
There's no escape. You can't hide. They're following you. Your cravings for nacho fries will never stop. The warm nacho cheese sauce and savory Mexican spices will not let you get away. So there's only one thing left to do. Run to Taco Bell, because nacho fries are back. Head to Taco Bell and silence your cravings before nacho fries disappear again. Only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. locations for a limited time only.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between, in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Do you have any idea why I never speak the way I am right now? It's because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you do not need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get a customer's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or buy their products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. Fiveash Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service possible and do it at a fair price, why would I need gimmicks to sell it? Best products, best warranties, and best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. 5 Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. 5 Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Have you dreamed of owning a car that starts every time when you turn the key? A used car that looks good and doesn't break down when you go somewhere? Call 901-380-5800. Victory Auto Sales now. Do you want a car that doesn't come with a set of jumper cables in the front seat? Do you want a car that gets good gas mileage and really is reliable transportation? Call 901-380-5800. Victory Auto Sales now, or check out the website at victoryauto.org. Call or visit Victory Auto Sales at 4885 Elmore, just off Covington Pike now, for a car you can afford and financing that doesn't take your whole paycheck. When you call Victory Auto Sales at 380-5800, you can throw away the jumper cables. When you buy a car from Victory Auto Sales, the tow truck driver will no longer be your best friend. Call Victory Auto Sales now, 901-380-5800, for a car that really is reliable transportation. Call 901-380-5800 now. That's Victory Auto Sales. VictoryAuto.org.
I'm a big fan of Town Village, and there is always something to do year-round. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, themed dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
So far, we only got 2 crashes on the roadways right now. Accident on Getwell Road at Comanche Road, and also accident on Graham Street at Graham Street at Wales Avenue. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Number 3.
That's the great Kabukie's music.
Kabuki.
No, it's not. Who is that? For real, is that? Oh,
This
he's
is
on the
Kabuki.
phone.
Kabuki.
Zach said that someone called in and said that yesterday changed their stance on things, that they saw the error of their ways.
That's awesome.
We get a lot of calls that Zach filters that are for us, that don't get to us, and I'm sure that's a good, change of pace for Zach to hear something like that, because he's heard worse. But
I appreciate Zach
for filtering those calls.
Yes, he gets the full brunt of it.
Right, and I'm sure there's some he doesn't even tell us.
Good
about.
and bad.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some he doesn't even tell us about at all. So, props to Zach for that.
I appreciate that. It is hour number 3 presented by our friends at Acura of Memphis. I'm Peter. He's Sane. We're going to talk to Dustin Starr here momentarily. Grizzlies play tonight against the Cavs. Just definitely a crazy last few hours in our country. So it was sort of as we bring Dustin Starr and 5-star to the program. Dustin, was yesterday? Did you like the booking yesterday of the NWO invasion gimmick? I don't know. To me, the To me, the country, I wouldn't have booked it that way. I felt like the country needed to go over stronger. The United States of America really looked weak in the booking, so I would have expected a little more of a retaliation.
Want the United States to look strong
from the U.S. Yeah, I don't know. It's
all about the comeback, guys. It's all about the big baby comeback story.
Yeah.
So
somebody's got to make a hot tag to the United States because the United States got to come back with a lot of fire here.
It's a lot of near falls, man.
Vince McMahon wouldn't have let this happen. Vince McMahon, I saw his invasion angle, and he didn't let WCW take anything. He didn't let ECW take anything. So he wouldn't have let this happen.
I hate to see guys kicking out of finishes too, Dustin. It's just
yeah,
man. Finish is supposed to be
seems
finished.
like Vince and Trump are both the same when it comes to invasion angles because the NWO invasion or WCW invasion of WWE was terrible.
Oh, it sure was.
And then yesterday's
failed invasion angle. Yep, another failed.
Yeah, they ended up finishing out the night. How crazy is that they came back and finished the night like you can't stop us kind of thing. And one of the really interesting things that came out of yesterday, first of all, I remember 9/11. I was glued to the television.
Mm-hmm.
I will never forget it, and there's only two other instances that really hit me. Election night 2020 and yesterday. My son, 12 years old, was doing his virtual school. I said, buddy, you got to come in here and watch this. And Maria said, well, he's doing virtual school. I said, no, this is historic.
This is history, yep.
This is something he needs to see because he saw everything that happened in the summer. And then he saw what happened yesterday, and he could see for himself at 12 years old what the difference was. And I'm with Mick Foley. I don't know if you guys saw Mick Foley's tweet. He tweeted at Vince, and he said, this guy's in our Hall of Fame. Trump is a WWE Hall of Famer.
Yes.
How ridiculous is that? And
that's something else to think about, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we've seen guys be taken out of the Hall of Fame for, I hate to say less, but they definitely didn't incite a intrusion to the Capitol building.
Oh, it was just unreal. But yeah, we know who was behind the hostile takeover. The NWO.
It was me.
The poison in my veins. What did Vince say when he brought the NWO back? Oh my
that's
God.
Right.
Just
I injected the poison. Well, there you go.
Crazy.
It looks a lot like it. It looks a lot like it. It was very, very, very.
It was
similar.
movie-like, like a movie, man. We were living in a movie. It was unbelievable. If you see the before and after pictures with the smoke and all that kind of stuff, with one White House is all dolled up and the other one is just smoke and everything around it. It's crazy, man. But yeah, that was a historic moment, and it was tweeted out quite a bit yesterday that and a reminder that Trump is a WWE Hall of Famer, which I think is just insane.
That's such a weird. It's so weird to think about all this. It's just so bizarre.
I remember 4 years ago talking about it on the radio, actually, and I believe it was on Sports 56, and saying, "Hey guys, we elected a WWE Hall of Famer to lead our country."
I think literally almost any other WWE Hall of Famer would have done a better job. And
it's not about like
insurrection,
Republican, Democrat, or for or against or anything. Like at that time, it was not against. It wasn't about any of that. It was like my mind was blown that a WWE Hall of Famer, Jesse the Body Ventura didn't even get that far.
No,
you know what I mean? And he held other office. But
Kane.
4 years ago, it was like, Kane.
Well, Kane is now the governor of Knox County. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I believe a Trump supporter as well.
Probably.
I'm gonna tell you who would have handled this well, man. Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert would have been the perfect heel too.
Oh, he was a good booker. He would have booked that finish a lot better than yesterday. I don't think we've seen the end of it, though. So I always compare everything to pro wrestling, and the baby faces always prevail in the end, whether it's making Trish Stratus bark like a dog and she ends up getting over on Vince. Like, it always, in the end, the baby face wins. So this story is not over.
It's just interesting, though, that a lot of people are sort of confused as to who the babyface is in this case. There's this is one of those shades of gray moment for a lot of people. Some people think that they are that they some of these people think they're Stone Cold Steve Austin. They're the real badass baby face, when in fact they're a lot more.
That's true, unfortunately.
Just pure heel. So
true.
People are confused about their role in the booking. We got to have a booking committee meeting and explain to people what's going on. Who are the heels? Who are the faces? And what happens from here?
Look, they worked themselves into a shoot.
That's exactly right. Sometimes you work yourself into a shoot. Now that's exactly what you got here. Now, we talked about this is the first time that we've spoken in 2021, and we've talked about the uprising that has happened from AEW, and it's been a topsy-turvy kind of thing, and they've certainly had their share of tragedies. Sadly, 2020 was a very, very tough year in the world of professional wrestling. But in 2021 now, as you see the year going forward, and you see AEW as kind of the leader of the independent factions working with some of the other promotions. We've talked about how you guys at Championship Wrestling have had plenty of guys that have been on your TV end up as part of AEW. We've also seen that other folks from Impact, from other promotions out there, working with AEW internationally as well. Is 2021 the year when AEW legitimately threatens the WWE at the very top of this thing?
That's a pretty big, pretty lofty goal there.
They're coming for him.
They are coming for him. Raw was back to over 2 million viewers on Monday, and I don't think it was because of Legends Night. I think it was because, Monday Night Football is not going on anymore. There was, less competition in that time slot.
That certainly helps.
Yeah, that definitely helps. But then last week with, I think they exceeded 1 million again. AEW had 977,000 on average, which is great. And I know that was a tribute show, but they've done that before. They're definitely coming for them. If you watch, it is literally the who's who, of professional wrestling that AEW has. I would be extremely happy if I was AEW and TNT just at the numbers they've done in the first year. You got to remember, this company's only like a year old.
Right.
So, WWE has over 50 years of sports entertainment or whatever the number is now. But, they've got a big head start. And it's the crazy things that WWE is kind of linked to that might turn a lot of wrestling fans off, but also at the same token, that might help them because that's the audience and the demographic. So I don't know. I'm not one to be like, oh, let's do a Monday Night War or anything. I think AEW needs to just keep doing what they're doing.
Stay in their lane. Yep.
Stay in their lane. Don't worry about the other guy. If I'm in real estate, I don't care how many houses somebody else sells. I just need to make sure I'm providing for my family and selling as many houses as I possibly can. You don't worry about the other guy. And, I think that's what they need to do. And that doesn't mean sign everybody that WWE lets go. That doesn't mean, then you become like a TNA, which now they have Impact Wrestling that's invading AEW. I'm not sure how much I like that, but, they've got the who's who over there.
It's getting some eyes on their show. So, yeah.
Yeah. But they are coming for them. More and more people there. Believe it or not, there are people that still have not heard or seen what AEW is doing. And sometimes it just takes that long. I know some friends that have watched wrestling for, as long as, 30 years, 20 years, and they still don't watch AEW. They're WWE guys. But the minute that they flip over and they see it, they're either really going to love it or they're really going to hate it because of you mentioned earlier, Anthony, the false finishes or, they kick out of everything. That's just a different style of wrestling.
They don't sell anything. It's all about the pop.
They sell nothing. You go through a table like the opening spot where Matt Hardy fell off this, he fell off the top of this, I don't even know what you call it, but he fell, and the one where he was knocked out and tried to continue the match. That was like the opening spot of the match. They still had a whole match to go, and he just, fell from, 15 feet in the air or something. So it's just a different style of wrestling. But yeah, they're coming.
So here's my since we're asking the big questions. the big questions here to begin 2021. Here's another one for you. Has wrestling passed Vincent Kennedy McMahon by?
Yes and no. Vince, it's his baby. You know, I can see it. You know, when I launched Championship Wrestling from Memphis and it's being 100% recorded here locally, I don't know that there's very many people that's going to be able to tell me what to do with my company. Okay, that's his baby.
Right.
So first and foremost, he's going to have to say so. But then on the other hand, there are going to be outside creative influences that I would need to listen to. And I think Vince is in that spot. Everybody's in that spot. You can't be the only person. That's why he has a writing team. That's why he hires Hollywood writers. But then he doesn't listen to them. He doesn't really have his finger on the pulse of what's going on, you know, pop culture wise or what's cool.
Hey, Zach,
I remember.
Does this sound familiar? Does this sound familiar to you, by the way? Because you know who this is. Vince McMahon is Jerry Jones. You know, he's an innovator, a legend, a very wealthy man, but he owns the thing, and so he feels like he needs to be involved in every decision, and he doesn't trust people.
Yeah.
He hires them and gives them like a month, and then he just snatches back their responsibility whenever he does. He will not let them just be, and that's what's happening here.
What I do personally, guys, is I reach out. I've got an uncle that is a successful businessman. I look up to him. He's my guy, right?
Uncle Business.
I go and I sit. Uncle Philip. I'll call him out. Shout out to Uncle Philip. But I'll sit down with him and I say, all right, I'm in the bubble. All right, I need you to tell me if I'm crazy. And say, okay. And I'll tell him what I got going on. And we'll draw it on a napkin. I even saved some of these napkins. That's how much it means to me. And he'll say yes or no. And he'll point me in the right direction. But I am inside the bubble. And I know that Vince is inside the bubble. He has no idea sometimes what's going on outside of that bubble. I mean, if me here in Memphis, if I'm inside of a bubble, I know Vince is inside of a bubble. Jeez. So you do need those outside people, and you do have to listen to them from time to time. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that's where Triple H has really stepped up with NXT. But then at the same time, they've basically put NXT against AEW Dynamite just to stifle the growth of AEW, and it's really hurting NXT.
They're getting killed.
Yeah, they don't really care about that product. They just want to slow AEW down. So yeah. So the question is, or the answer is,
send Finn Balor down there. Send Finn Balor down there.
Send Charlotte.
Send Charlotte.
Bring her back.
Bring back Goldberg. Bring back. Let's bring back 55-year-old. Oh God.
But yeah, it's passed him by a little bit. But then also, he's never going to go away. It's his business. I totally get it 100%. He's the evil genius, and they got to figure that out because momentum, dude. Momentum in any sport. Momentum is key, and I feel like AEW has a little bit of momentum. But also, when the crowds come back, we're really going to find out who has the momentum.
Yep.
We're really going to see who's over, who's doing what.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's another reason I'm looking forward to that. Another thing, Dustin, as far as Sting is concerned, we've been talking about Sting for the last few weeks. We've been talking about his return.
It's Sting!
There was a report that came out that Sting said that he had approached Vince McMahon about doing some cinematic matches with The Undertaker, that Vince wasn't down for it, and that pretty much led to him going to AEW, and that he'll be doing some cinematic matches over there. And we were talking about what we thought, you know, how
I saw Sting actually rappelling down from the top of the House of Representatives yesterday. Which side is he on? Which side is he on?
Oh my God, that's hilarious. There's a story that somebody really did rappel from the ceiling. Did you hear that?
There you go.
And they also had
that was Sting. It was Sting.
Also had a Mantar cameo. Yesterday.
The Berserker was there. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But,
Sid Justice will be done.
Man. We can't make this stuff up.
No, man, this actually happened.
No.
And then that the podium looked like the WCW tag team titles was on the front of it.
It did. It looked like, yeah. That's
Oh my gosh.
No, the WWE tag team titles, yeah. But seriously, Sting. We were talking about what does Sting in AEW look like. He said he wants to do some cinematic matches, and I was like, I hadn't thought about that. That sounds like a brilliant idea. You could bring stunt doubles in to do some of these things. You know what I mean? And there's so many things you can do when you're making it cinematic as opposed to live in the square circle. So what are your thoughts on that being the approach to AEW, and who could you see him kind of having some matchups within that, and those was basically making a movie into a match instead of him actually getting into the ring?
Love it. Absolutely love it. I thought that they really missed the boat on the Undertaker versus Sting in the cinematic match. Like after that AJ Styles Boneyard match, I thought that just gave the Undertaker 5 more years on his career. You know, 1 or 2 cinematic matches, especially at WrestleMania per year, really. And also it could have sprungboard a movie career for the Undertaker. I mean, honestly.
Right.
But I like it. I think it's cool. I think that AEW has the production value to where they can do it. Rebby Hardy, Matt Hardy's wife, is fantastic at editing and producing some of this stuff too. So, and also with TNT on board with that, you know, they would be able to do stuff in a movie-like way. So I love it. I think it's cool. I know they're trying to get Sting with some of the younger guys. I think they need to put Sting with some of the bigger stars as well. That way they can draw, you know, whether it's drawing a big house or getting some pay-per-view numbers. But like him and Darby Allin, I don't know where they're going with that other than a tag team match. But I do like seeing Sting in a cinematic match better than I like seeing him in the actual ring, because you can hide all the flaws.
Right.
You can hide age. You don't have to be in wrestling gear. You can keep, you know, you can wear whatever you want. It's a movie.
Mm-hmm.
They could just cover, you know, I don't want to say that Sting's in bad shape and cover him up, but
that's a good assumption.
You can hide things like that.
The face paint doesn't hit the hairline anymore. The face paint used to be under the hair. There's nothing there you got a little space between the paint and the exactly. Not the same.
Yeah. But his jacket looks cool. His gloves look cool.
Yeah.
You know, his face paint looks cool. His hair even looks cool. I think Sting has done a good job at looking cool. So now you can't throw that away. And I'm not saying that he would when he gets in the ring and has a match, but we talked about this a couple weeks ago where Jericho is 50 now, and he might not be able to keep up with some of the younger guys, although he is still really good. Just imagine Sting being in there with a Darby Allin or a Ricky Starks, who are just phenomenal athletes that are on such a high level at this point, that with Sting and his age, it might show his age a little more. So I love the cinematic match thing. You can hide some stuff.
And then it just kind of seems like the WWE almost kind of missed an opportunity. When you think about, like, because it seems like when the pandemic first hit and they had to have WrestleMania and it was like with no crowd, and we talked about, like, why in the world didn't they have some type of pumped-in crowd noise? And then they finally got it together, and now the WWE probably has the best empty arena experience because of the Thunderdome and what they're doing with the monitors everywhere, where it actually looks like people are there when you're looking at it on TV. They did an excellent job with that. But it seems like they missed a lot of opportunities because, like you see, when they do the cinematic stuff, you're able to get the Randy Orton setting the Fiend on fire. You know what I mean? That's something that you couldn't do that in front of a live crowd, but you can do that with the magic of television. And it's just so many things you can do now, and it seems like you're kind of late to the party as far as doing those things. It's good to see the AEW is saying, hey, we're going to take advantage of this downtime and do some things that we typically couldn't pull off in a normal Wednesday night environment.
No, I agree with you 100%. I think it was kind of shock value. I mean, I've wrestled in front of nobody, and it's not fun. It's actually very awkward. And when you do your tryout matches before television at WWE, you have producers standing around the ring and wrestlers standing around the ring. They don't cheer for you. They don't boo for you.
Right.
You're basically having a silent match and just hoping that they like it and hoping that it's good. And that's what the WWE guys were doing, and AEW as well. But AEW always had kind of the boys around the ring and the boys and girls around the ring cheering and booing and that kind of stuff to kind of help them along. But WWE did not do that. It's really hard to do. And there are even other wrestlers that were asking me, man, I was thinking, how in the world did they do that with The Fiend? And we talked about it on this show too. It was so cool how they can just go in and edit this stuff. It could be a live program, and they can throw in some clips that nobody knows.
Right.
You don't know when they're live and when they're not. I thought it was really cool.
And
the Fiend stuff is controversial. Man, it was was really cool. And to have the cliffhanger with Orton having the match in his hand, you know, there's been talk about having more, I guess, more layered and mature, not mature in the sense of cussing and sex and all that kind of stuff, but better storylines to keep people hooked. And that might be the right direction, because I don't know if setting somebody on fire is really the right direction, but, you know, doing stuff that's different and stories that people can believe and buy into and want to see more of. And I don't know about you guys, but Randy Orton is off the chain right now. He's one of the very, very best ever, especially right now.
Phenomenal stuff. I am, as an old school guy, I want more old school. Just give me a hard camera and give me a match and be done with it. But it's just, anyway, I can't. That's, I don't know. Who's
next?
But that's that. We'll have to talk. We'll have to talk about that next week. Dustin, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Y'all be good. We'll check it out on Saturday at noon. Hope there'll be a big show. I assume there will be.
Oh, yeah, we got the United TV title on the line. Anthony Idol's getting a shot, and I know you remember the Universal Heartthrob, Austin Idol.
Absolutely.
So this is his, I guess, illegitimate nephew or something like that. They have a connection in some way, but it's very good.
Sure,
and then
Universal
on Sunday,
Heartthrob has a few nephews running around.
Probably. On Sunday, if you tune in to YouTube at noon, we have our awards show. That's a YouTube exclusive. You can go to youtube.com/championship wrestling. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Hopefully the big comeback babyface story next week.
I cannot wait, and I hope you're right about that for sure. Thank you, Dustin Starr,
Thank you, guys.
joining us on the program. We appreciate that. When we come back, a little news from the college football world. We'll also get into the NFL playoffs and tonight's Grizzlies matchup. All of that next here from the Family Leisure Studios. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Sports Time with Wallow and Stats. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 98.5 FM and 96.1 FM.
Looking for a new home? Trying to sell your old home? Call Rule Smith of RE/MAX Experts for all your real estate needs. Buying or selling, you need a real estate expert like Rule Smith, 901-304-7827. Rule Smith is licensed in Tennessee with a decade of experience in the greater Memphis area. He knows the ins and outs of buying and selling a home, and he makes it easy for you. Count on Rule Smith's honest, no-nonsense approach to get the home you want, the home you need, and the home you can count on. Whether it's your first home, your next home, or your dream home, call real estate professional Rule Smith, 901-304-7827. That's 304-7827. With the help of Rule Smith, owning your own home is an easy change to make. Call Rule Smith's cell phone today, 901-304-7827, or call the RE/MAX Experts office at 901-685-6000, and let Rule Smith rule your real estate needs.
Do not wait for summer. Get your pool now during the early bird pool sale at Family Leisure. Through February the 7th, you can reserve your installation spot on your new pool purchase from Family Leisure. You know the prices like the temperature. They'll go up when it gets warmer, so you must reserve yours now. Family Leisure has hundreds of spas on order, so reserve yours now. The early bird pool sale's happening now at Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together. Grind City Brewing Company is taking care of beerness in Memphis. Grind City Brewing is the dream of a father and son duo to create a brand that delivers a high-quality, great-tasting, and easy-drinking craft beer. And they've done it. The brewery sits high above the city elevation in uptown Memphis with 15,000 square feet of beerness, including a 5,000 square foot tap room. Grind City Brewing is committed to all things Memphis, including the Tigers. They have created a malt liquor called Tiger Tail that is the official craft beer of the University of Memphis. Tiger Tail comes in 16-ounce six-packs and is not your typical malt liquor. Tiger Tail is crafted with a bold and smooth flavor, has 7.5% alcohol, and its clean finish makes it incredibly easy drinking. Tiger Tail and Grind City Brewing, taking care of beerness in Memphis.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Remember that story we told you earlier on in the show about the University of Tennessee Chattanooga offensive line coach who got his little Twitter fingers out Tuesday night, said some racist and horrible things. Well, he's been fired.
Congrats.
So good job, buddy.
Was it worth it?
Hope that felt good to get that off your chest. And I hope that everyone out there that remembers, it's a gentleman who works in the football industry. An industry that is has a lot of black folks in it. I don't know if I'm breaking any news there. I hope that when he's looking for employment, people will remember how he feels about said black people. And maybe not a real big fan of them outside of the big ones who play football. Maybe not even a fan of them, quite frankly, in his heart of hearts. Yeah. So let's hope that continues with his employment search.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of that, I still I think Sane can agree with me with this one. Like I feel like he'll be back.
Yeah, somebody will hire him.
Somebody will hire him because that's how it works.
Mm-hmm. Surely, there are a number of coaches out there who are quite good at being offensive line coaches and also aren't racists. So hopefully we can
maybe we should put that on the
maybe find one of those. Yeah, not a racist would
good
be
interview. Are you racist?
Yeah.
Are
you racist?
Yes, no, or other.
Do we need
for real though? Like, I know you're going to say no. You're going to say no to me now, but I mean, like for real.
Yeah.
On the night that you lose an election and you get mad about it, are you going to tweet out a bunch of embarrassing stuff for us, or what's going to happen here?
And are you no or on neither side of it? Are you on neither side of racism?
Are you on? Do you just want to talk sports? Or do you want to?
I'm not racist or racist. No, okay. I'm not racist or not racist.
I'm not pro or anti-racism. I'm just here.
Just here, man. Talk to sports, man. Come on.
Well, got some news for you.
You might be a racist.
So yes, that you might be a racist. If you want to tweet out a comparison of Stacey Abrams to Fat Albert, you might be a racist.
If you want to stick to sports in the middle of a historic...
If you say that I don't care I'm not on either side.
You just want to stick to
sports. You might be a
racist. Oh, God.
So we've got, now we have, I want to tell you something. One guy that I just can't get enough of is Chase Young. I love Chase Young.
We all do.
I mean, what's not to love? Guy's a phenomenal football player, leader, etc. One of the, rookie of the year, potentially just fantastic. And after the game on Sunday, after that incredible victory from Washington over a full-strength and definitely trying their best Philadelphia Eagles squad, Chase Young was caught on camera saying, Tom Brady, I'm coming. I want Tom. And people asked him, "What do you regret that? Do you regret, calling out one of the greatest of all time and all that?" He said, "I play ball. I'm excited to go against the best. The media, their job is to stir it up. If you know me, I'm excited for every game. Tom Brady, you think I'm not excited to play against the GOAT? You tripping. I'm not going to apologize for saying I want Tom." I love this man.
Yeah, just
That's
like we talked about Dylan Brooks yesterday, man.
Exactly. Except that Chase Young is he's come on.
Another tier of athlete.
A little different tier of player with respect to Dylan. Chase Young is a.
Well, maybe he meant Tom from MySpace.
He's definitely not the GOAT. Tom from MySpace is definitely not the GOAT. He might be in your top 5. What was it? Your top 5? What was the?
Or Tom from the Boondocks.
I'm a big football team fan, as you know. I love the Washington football team. Hail to the Washington football team. Hail victory. I love Chase Young's a great. He's a leader. That's exactly right, man. Of course, he's excited. He wants to go against the best. That's beautiful. That's the way it's supposed to be. What is Tom Brady like? Does he need extra motivation to win the playoffs? He's like, I'm not gonna really try, but now Chase Young said he wanted me, so now I'm gonna. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna give him what he wants.
That's silly. Like that's just I hate that stuff. That's one of my biggest annoyances. Outside of a few very special things that happen, sometimes players say something, or sometimes it gets personal or whatever. But for the most part, professional athletes are professional athletes. Like you think they're not going to try their best? No, they're trying to. These are the most competitive people in the world. They're wired differently than you or me. Cardell Jones is out here trying to beat a kid in the hospital by 60 points in Madden.
I don't know if that's the best example, but
well, I'm just saying, like he's wired differently. Yeah. Like this dude he's not going to take it easy anymore.
Competitive nature.
So you think he needs like an extra? You think some of these guys need extra motivation? That's offensive to me. I hate that. Guys, do you think I saw that John Morant? James Harden's like, what? John Morant's scared to like make James Harden mad? Like, what are you talking about? You said tell that Mother Nature about me, John. Did you think that was gonna? Shut up! Like he's a competitor, and what you don't want him to be excited to play against this guy? Now you've made James Harden mad.
Yeah, it's the internet and Twitter and things like that have just made media like snitch culture. Like everything's about run tell that type stuff to
exactly.
Yeah, and
people. That's what when you think these guys on the court, they talk. They talk to each other on the field. They talk to each other. And then they'll shake hands afterwards. It's they're competitors. Like that's what it is. It's not generally. It's not personal. Even when like some people said, like the little boy thing from LeBron. You too little for me. When Dylan Brooks, and really basically that was just a shout out to John Morant.
That's respect. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that's basically just him like doing that because Ja's there and they have they're kind of friendly with one another. That's not really like I mean it's kind of like he's kind of talking about with Dylan because he knows it was a hard fought thing, but I mean come on man. You're giving Dylan way too much credit to think that he can fire LeBron James up. Like, I mean, LeBron, come on.
Yeah, but LeBron.
I love Dylan, but come on, man.
You saw my rant, man. LeBron, when he was yelling at our bench, he literally was like an old man that was like, man, these kids, man. Where y'all mama them? Where your mama? Looked like just somebody was just ticked off by a bunch of teenagers getting on his nerves. Like, man, who y'all with? Who y'all up here with? Taylor Jenkins,
you're not supposed to be up here. Come on, man.
Taylor Jenkins, get to your kids, man. Taylor Jenkins, who's younger than LeBron, right? Right? Think so.
Yeah.
I want to say LeBron's older than Taylor Jenkins.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, but
well, in any event, I think there's that. Also, speaking of James Harden, I do want to shout him out. Yesterday, he was asked to give his thoughts on what happened yesterday at the Capitol, and he said, "quote I didn't see it." So, do they not have CNN at the strip club? Is that what happens?
Well, he also said that he wanted out of Houston because Fertitta was a Trump guy, but I guess he didn't catch the news yesterday.
Yeah, so he didn't get the news yesterday. So, like I said, man, when you're in the club, when you're in that joint,
he ain't got time for this
doing your thing, he's not going to be distracted by what's going on.
Yeah, he's NBA locked. He's locked in. Season started. He ain't got time for this stuff now, man. All that stuff.
One thing you know about James Harden is that man's locked in. He's a total professional. Definitely locked in.
No strip clubs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Business like.
I didn't see it. I mean, what? I mean, you can say like I don't want to talk about it. Okay, that's fine. Or I don't want to comment or whatever. Okay, fine. I didn't see it.
Yeah, come on, James Harden. I think it's time for him to hand over his beard to do his civic duty and hand over his beard for COVID research as well.
That's right. That's exactly right. We need more. We've obviously we're not getting this vaccine in people's arms fast enough. So I think we need to do whatever we can.
Yeah,
to get,
just ingest the sweat of James Harden's beard.
Just sprinkle some of that beard on your meal like a little seasoning that'll get you.
Like I'm about to throw up. That sounds so nasty.
It is definitely nasty.
What movie was that where somebody? What movie was that where somebody's hair from a certain area was blown in a fan or something like that?
Oh yeah.
God, what movie was that? I don't know. It's probably so. I would ask Zach. He's probably not allowed to watch that.
They don't do that in VeggieTales. I can tell you.
What movie?
A movie where was it one of the American Pie movies or something?
Yeah, I think. Or I was thinking maybe it was The Hangover, but
no. Somebody. Yeah, it was because it was American Wedding when when he was getting married and he shaved everything off and it blew in the fan and Steve was like, it blew in my mouth, man.
Oh, so funny thing. Funny story. So
okay, all right. Didn't expect that to.
No, because he brought up American Pie.
Mm-hmm.
So it was
great film series. By the way.
It was when I was younger. We went to camp.
Should have won an Oscar.
We went to camp, and one of the camp counselors at the time, they had all these kids.
You have a flute? Or are you about to tell me?
Right, like, where is this going?
No. One time in band camp, I know.
Not happening.
Easy.
No band camp. No band camp involved.
Okay.
But our camp, like, I guess the person that was watching us, like the group of kids, like they put on American Pie in front of us. It was like, we was watching it with them.
Okay. How was that experience?
It was very vague because it was like bits and pieces that I remember and don't remember.
Oh, okay.
You were traumatized by it, obviously.
I wasn't.
You've repressed some of these memories.
I wasn't fully aware that it was happening. That was one of those type of movies.
Mm-hmm.
It was not until after I got older I was like, oh.
What type of movies is that? It's those type of movies. What is that?
It's an adult film.
It's not an adult film.
Well, just for adults. Movies for adults. Let me clarify. Let me clarify. Movies for adults, not adult films.
That's like was for teenagers, really. But I mean, it's definitely not an adult movie. Although I do remember a time when I was on the Young Life. If you remember, Young Life was a Christian organization in high school. We were on a Young Life trip to a ski trip, and we were on a bus driving to Colorado, and one of the Young Life counselors had a VHS tape that was just hand labeled, and it said Money Pit. You know, like the old Tom Hanks movie where he has the house and he has to, it's all falling apart, and he ends up he and Shelley Long, I believe, and it's a classic comedy classic. It's a funny movie. So this counselor wanted to share a little bit of that funny movie with all of us on the bus, and we had little monitors and stuff in the bus. You've probably been on those kinds of buses, you know what I'm talking about. Old school style. Well, you put in this tape, and it decidedly was not Money Pit. In fact, it was a real adult movie, not an American Pie adult movie, but an actual adult film that he was playing on a Christian trip to a bunch of 14 and 15-year-olds. We were all. I certainly was extremely interested in that version of Money Pit. That was. And this played for probably about 45 seconds before this person realized, because he couldn't see, the monitors were pointed the other way, and everyone was so sort of shocked. Half the kids weren't even looking yet because there was no sound, and so they were still looking down or talking to each other, whatever. Didn't really notice. I noticed, and I kind of elbowed my friend. And I'm like, "You see this?" And then murmurs start, and the next thing you know, the entire bus is just watching, and the counselor has to actually look over like this and kind of look over.
Yeah, because
and he realizes what's happening, and it's
Yeah, the screens
day
are
that will
are
live.
on in like what 3 spots on the bus or something. Like
Yeah,
that?
there are
4
3
maybe?
spots on the bus, and they're pointed back that way, so
Yeah.
you can't see
If
exactly
he's
what's
sitting in
going
the
on
front,
until.
he don't see nothing.
No,
And
you had to go walk back.
y'all nasty ass just sitting there, just like, oh,
Yeah, oh, you better believe it. I wasn't saying a word. I'm just like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, yeah.
I had some in my pocket here. I'm just gonna keep my hand here until I find it. I can't find it.
Think about 14, 15-year-old kids. You think you're not gonna watch that? Come on, are you crazy? So that guy didn't go well for him. His evaluation was not great after the bus trip. And we never actually watched Money Pit. Sadly enough, I don't.
That's
it's a shame.
unfortunate.
Yeah, I had to turn off the monitors after that. So
That was an awkward trip, man.
Yeah,
I get it. It was I thought it was a great trip personally, but one of my favorites. I'll never forget that. When we come back, we'll talk about the matchup tonight and get a little prediction on what's going to happen down at FedEx Forum between the Grizzlies and the Cavs. As it begins a stretch, it's a really important stretch for the Grizzlies in terms of establishing what this season is going to look like for them. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM.
Farmers Insurance knows that when you're in the car and that song comes on, yes, that's the one, you have no choice but to pull out your imaginary drumsticks and smash those cymbals and stomp on that kick pedal, which unfortunately is the accelerator pedal. And we covered it. Talk to a farmer's agent who knows a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
You don't think about a lawyer until something goes wrong. When that happens, let attorney Stephen Leffler fight for you and your family. You don't leave the house in the morning expecting an accident, but it happens every day. A car wreck, you slip and fall, or you get accused of a crime and find yourself fighting for your reputation. Stephen Leffler has been fighting for you for over 35 years. Don't do it alone. Let Stephen Leffler fight your battles for you. Call Stephen Leffler, 901-527-8830, or go to LefflerLaw.com. Here to fight for you and your loved ones.
Have you dreamed of owning a car that starts every time when you turn the key? A used car that looks good and doesn't break down when you go somewhere? Call 901-380-5800. Victory Auto Sales now. Do you want a car that doesn't come with a set of jumper cables in the front seat? Do you want a car that gets good gas mileage and really is reliable transportation? Call 901-380-5800. Victory Auto Sales now, or check out the website at victoryauto.org. Call or visit Victory Auto Sales at 4885 Elmore, just off Covington Pike now, for a car you can afford and financing that doesn't take your whole paycheck. When you call Victory Auto Sales at 380-5800, you can throw away the jumper cables. When you buy a car from Victory Auto Sales, the tow truck driver will no longer be your best friend. Call Victory Auto Sales now, 901-380-5800, for a car that really is reliable transportation. Call 901-380-5800 now. That's Victory Auto Sales. VictoryAuto.org.
I'm here with the great Pat Donahue from the Rendezvous Restaurant Shipping Department.
Thanks, Brett. We've been shipping our ribs all over the country now for decades from our USDA-inspected shipping kitchen in the Pinch District. We hand-cook our ribs in pits that Mr. Charlie built over charcoal, just like they do at the restaurant.
So what comes in a rib box?
We could do pork shoulder, we could do ribs, our sauce, seasoning, baked beans, coleslaw. We'll even throw in Pancho's cheese dip with our nacho boxes. We also put a bag of Rendezvous seasoned popcorn, heating instructions, some chef hats, some wet naps, and some other helpful tips from our kitchen. We ship our ribs overnight, exclusively FedEx. When we put them in nice packaging, we don't ever want to use styrofoam, so we use corrugated cardboard, actually 2 boxes that fit nice together, so the ribs get to you, your loved ones, or your clients in a safe, wholesome manner. Rendezvous ribs are perfect for out-of-town clients, customers, loved ones. We also ship ribs for any occasion.
Where do we order these great ribs?
You can go to www.hogsfly.com or give us a call at 1-888-464-7359.
Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous Restaurant in the alley since 1948.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good. I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
is, of course, Hulk Hogan's theme.
Doing his tour of Europe.
That's right. Doing his techno clubs in Germany. Is this Das Wunderkind, Alex Wright?
No.
Who is this?
This is Rio?
Rio. Okay, Rio.
No, it's Rio. Rio? I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Okay, good stuff. Well, we got it. We got this thing under control, and we are in good shape right here. So, hour number 3 here on a kind of a sort of a cloudy, rainy Thursday here. Tonight, the Grizzlies will be back in action, taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And tonight, Anthony Sane, what do you see? It's been made pretty clear by Taylor Jenkins that there's not going to be any major lineup changes.
Yeah, you're going to get, the standard bubble lineup, so to speak, the post-Jay Crowder lineup with a swap out of Tyus Jones for John Moran, of course. He pretty much said that in the last game. I think the Grizzlies get a win. Cleveland's coming in shorthanded as well. Plus, they've had a pretty good start, Cleveland has, but, I don't really know how serious I can take the Cleveland Cavaliers, especially this early in the season. But, yeah, I think the Grizzlies pull out a win in this one. I think Darius Garland is out, if I'm not mistaken. So they've got one of my most
okay, I mean, the Cavs are they're dealing with a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Much like the Grizzlies are. They'll be dealing with Kevin Porter. He's out with an emotional and mental issue. Dante Exum recently out with a calf injury. Darius Garland has a sprained right shoulder. He will be out. I believe Isaac Okoro should be back. He was back yesterday, I think, he was back, and he had been hurt as well. So, a few injuries for the Cavs, and obviously no Kevin Love as well. But they're not a bad team,
no,
and they've played better than expected so far. So we will see.
I wonder how Dante Exum is able to be himself and R.J. Hampton at the same time. How is he pulling it off? How are you playing for 2 NBA teams at the same? Like, how did you get redrafted? You're injured, but then you're also playing for the Nuggets. Like, how did you?
It's incredible.
It's incredible, man.
It's incredible,
like, that guy deserves something, bro.
He does. Although they're not really, neither one is really playing, so that works out great. That makes it easy.
It's not that hard.
To do that.
When you're injured on one team and then you're not playing on the other one, why am I giving that guy props? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that makes
Shame on you, Dante Exum, for getting 2 checks to do that.
That makes it extra simple. So the Grizzlies now coming up. The next week or so is going to be it could well be the difference between a team that still has aspirations of pushing themselves for the playoffs and a team that is probably going to end up somewhere in the lottery, because they take on Cleveland. Of course, Cleveland is 4-4, but that's a very winnable game, no doubt. They'll take on Brooklyn on Friday. That's tomorrow. Then and we'll see who Brooklyn actually has on the floor. Cleveland again on Monday. Then 2 against Minnesota. So Cleveland, Brooklyn, Cleveland, Minnesota, Minnesota. 4 of the next 5 against Cleveland and Minnesota. If the Grizzlies are a serious team, they're going to win a lot of those games, even as injured as they are. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I think this is a very winnable stretch for the Grizzlies. You got, like I said, we talked about, you got Cleveland twice, you got Minnesota twice, and you got KD without. I mean, you got the Nets without KD. So I can see them getting 3 out of 5. I can see them getting 4 out of 5. I can see them going 5-0.
I think they need to get 4. I think if they get 4 out of 5, then all of a sudden they'll be 6-6 going into the Philadelphia game that's going to precede the MLK Day game next Monday against Phoenix. That would be, that would, if they're right around 500 for that game, then that's probably going to be, you could maybe, and it's potentially see John Morant coming back around that time. I've kind of pegged him as the game against Chicago, the 27th as his return, but he's a quick healer, and he's certainly itching to come back. So if he comes back earlier, then that helps. So the Grizzlies are right around 500 at that point. Then, yeah, man, sky's the limit. If you have Jaren Jackson Jr. back by that point, which you might by the end of this month, and Justice Winslow, he seems to be just about ready. So it's just a matter of time. If you got all those guys back, saying you could see the team make a push at that point. If not, if they lose 3 of these games, then it could just kind of push them to be like, well, let's give Ja a little extra time to recover. Let's give Jaren a little extra time to recover, and you could see this team kind of edging toward the lottery. So I think it's a pretty consequential stretch of games to see how seriously they're going to take this season.
Yeah, if it can be big. They can come out and be 5-4. 7-4 if they can go 5-0, or you can come out of this with a winning record. This stretch of games, so it could be one of those things where you're looking that much more behind the pack. But like you said, it buys time for Ja, and hopefully you might see Justice sometime maybe during this stretch. Who knows? It's a big week, big 5 games coming up for the Grizzlies.
Jaren, Justice,
and also the Tigers rescheduled the UCF games, so they're going to play them. I think February 1st and 3rd or something like that. It's coming up. So
let's hope so.
Yeah,
fingers crossed.
That's the plan.
Happens. We will see. Thanks so much, everybody, for being with us for this big show. Coming up next, of course, it is Middays with Greg and Eli. Y'all have a good one.